Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another Sporting160EN podcast, number 167. We got a packed a lot of talks, a lot of good content, a lot of oh my god, I can't talk. A lot of good content, a lot of good things to talk about. We got World Cup on the horizon. We got Ronaldo doing interviews. We got Varandas doing interviews. We got Sporting winning. But before we get to all of that, let's go back straight to the panel. Starting off with my main man, Steph. Steph, how's it going, bro?
It's doing okay. I mean, we finally won against Famalicão, and we'll talk about that. We still have a shady president, and we'll talk about that too. And Seleção is looking okay, so we'll talk about that too. And other than that, we're in fourth place. We finally passed Casapia. That makes me feel good.
Let's go, boys. It's on the up. Conference League coming next year.
Makes me proud, man.
Also joined by my main man, Chris. Chris, how's it going, bro?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. As Danny alluded to, we actually do have a fair bit of content to get to on this episode. So I'm excited to talk about it. Some of the shit Varandas said pissed me off for a multitude of reasons, different things that he said for various reasons. So yeah, let's get into it.
For sure. We'll start with the game first, but before any of that, let's just do all the plugs. Follow me there. Follow Sam there. More importantly, follow the Sporting page, our Sporting page, Sporting160_EN and 160 everywhere else. All right, let's get straight to the game. Let me share the 11 here. So this was the 11. A bit of a surprise as St. Just finished 90 minutes. But all right, Adan in net, St. Just, Coach, Inacio, and the back line with... sorry. Did St. Just finish? I don't think he did, now that I'm remembering.
No, I think he did.
He did? Okay. These guys came on for Porto. Okay, sorry. So St. Just, Coach, Inacio in the back line.
No, it came on for Paulinho.
Oh.
Escaio came on for Paulinho. They were packing it in, kind of.
Yes. It actually shows there. That shows there. My bad. Anyways, St. Just, Coates, Inácio, Porro, Mateus Reis in the back line. Ugarte, Morita in the midfield with Trincão, Paulinho, and Pot up top. Goals from Trincão, more like Paulinho and Pot. And of course, Famalicão got one in the 70th minute, kind of out of luck, and that turned the game interesting. But Chris, I'll start with you first, dude. What were your thoughts on this game?
Well, this game was, I guess, complicated for me because it kind of was reminding me of the Aruca game at first, where we were, we didn't have as many chances, but we did have a fair amount of chances in the first half. And both goals came in the last 5 minutes of the half. So there was like a scenario in my head where we're going to go into half 0-0 here. Somehow, without scoring after all those chances, hitting the post, forcing some saves, etc. A note on the first goal, the hilarious moment the Sport TV commentator refers to as a tactical own goal, which was absolutely
the first I've ever heard about that.
Absolutely hilarious. Especially when you consider the play, it's like he was just trying to slide and block it. It's not like he was even oh my god, it's so stupid. So yeah, a deserved goal came off an error from them. Like they tried to play out of the back and just lost it. So we get the goal. Trincão steals the goal from Paulinho on the line. Banter, and then they're unlucky. To be fair, on the PK, it's a PK, right? They're gonna call that. They called the exact PK in the Portugal game today. Trailing arm sticking out, hits it. They're gonna call it. And we go in 2-0 deservedly. And, it's like, oh, wow, all of a sudden we're good. PK and an error from them. So, oh, wow, okay, now we're up 2-0. And then even in the second, and then it was like, okay, so it felt really controlled. It felt really relaxed. 2-0 felt really comfortable. Second half started out pretty well, honestly. We had some chances. It's all up to them at this point. We're already up 2-0. And it really the vibe shifted so much. I feel like even between like minutes 45 and minutes like 60, maybe 65, closer to 70, because it was building up before their goal a little bit. Like the goal wasn't out of nowhere. It was kind of building a little bit, and obviously natural, right? They're down 2-0. We're going to soak up a little bit of pressure. Goal's kind of lucky, but
Really
all
lucky.
of a sudden, it really felt like we were about to blow the game completely.
Yeah.
Oh, not to mention, we can get into it. The Murita goal that's disallowed. Somehow, I do not understand. We did reach the third goal, and they're very, very, very unlucky to not be home free, And the third goal going, it felt like we were home free, but because it was still only 2-0, like we weren't. Then the goal goes in, and it's like, holy shit, In those last 10 minutes, man, and they had a chance, right? Ignacio makes a heroic header, like. The ball was right there, right in front of the net to be headed home by one of their guys. It could have been 2-2. Like a really harsh, undeserved 2-2 draw was like inches away. I guess just when you come to Famalicão, it's never going to be easy, right? This is the first time since they've come up that we've actually won away here. Probably the fourth try now, maybe more. Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's low-key a miracle, but like it really shouldn't have been.
Yeah. I mean the win was deserved, but yes.
Just much deserved, bro. Could have been 4-0. 4-1, maybe,
Comes back to the broken record that I've been saying is the efficiency on this team is just so like it's in shambles. But anyways, I've mentioned that enough. Steph, sorry, go Chris.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
You're good. Steph.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on this game?
I mean, Chris summed it up pretty good, and I couldn't have done a better job. And it's funny that you guys just mentioned that we missing someone up front, a good striker, because I had this conversation. I talk to my father, I would say like 4 times a week. He lives in Portugal with mom, and then we talk. Of course, we talk about Sporting. What else are we going to talk about? So. My commute from home to Philly, it's like 45 minutes. So we end up talking about Sporting for 45 minutes. But we talk about the soccer team and Modalidades as well. And then that was it. We summed it up together. Like we said exactly what Chris said. We deserve to win, hands down. We created enough opportunities to be 4-5-0. The disallowed goal of Morita 3-0 was unbelievable. It just makes me proud of the FIFA because they didn't call one Portuguese referee. It makes sense.
That's one of the more impressive disallowed line drawings I've ever seen. Well
18
done,
centimeters. I haven't seen one good angle.
The lines are absolutely absurd. Yeah. The angle is absolutely horrible. You can't even see Morita's full body. I mean, lads in the VAR booth, that is a work of art. You're not going to see better than that.
Quick Photoshop. Well done, boys.
Yeah. But if you think about the tendencies of us Portuguese people, I'm going to say us, including the three of us, we are
Portuguese, man.
Yeah, we are a unique kind, though. Like,
we are.
To admit that we're wrong, it takes a lot, And the referees, our referees, is a proof of that. They really suck. They stuck in the '60s. They haven't evolved at all. They never admit when they're wrong. They rather give yellow cards and red cards, and even if they're wrong, they'll never get it, take it back. And I mean, if I'm the referee of the game, I'm going to say, okay, I'll make the decision myself. Let me go to the camera. It took such a long time to decide. But, we deserve to win. I'm glad we won. Famalicão, they scored a bullshit goal numa carambola. Bate num gajo e entra na baliza sem querer e o caralho. But that's our Sporting this year, But I'm glad we won. We matamos o borrego. It was like, you said 5 games without winning at Famalicão?
I just guessed.
Oh, even more.
Yeah.
Might have been more.
So, but we deserve to win. We just need the matador. And if we want an affordable one, I guess Navarro, even if it's 50% of his pass.
Who is quietly the leading scorer in the league this season.
Mm-hmm. What is it?
Only on 8 goals.
9 goals? 8 or 9?
8 or 9, but he is the leading scorer, yeah.
Why not? I mean, the guy seems like he knows how to put the ball away. If he has good assists, Sporting
He
is
gets a lot of chances, to be fair. Like,
Yeah.
he's also high up and missed expected goals as well. But he also, to be fair, has a lot of goals too. So the man either gets or creates chances, maybe both.
the man, if he plays with a reasonable team like Sporting that wants to be champion of Portugal, because I don't believe what Varandas said is correct. It's a fake assumption. Just because of that, he should never be the president of Sporting. But we'll talk about it. But if he has Nuno Santos, if he has Edwards, if he has people that could assist him, double or the triple of the assists he gets as Gil Vicente, he's going to score naturally double of the goals. Yeah, so I hope in Janeiro we buy Navarro because I don't see anybody.
His price only went up from the summer, if anything, right? Our desperation went up and his output went up. So, I mean, if he was 5 in the summer, what is he now? Like 8, 7 for 50% maybe? I don't know if that's business that we're going to be doing.
Yeah.
Are we loaning anyone at Gil Vicente?
Not
that I know of.
Not currently anymore. No, I don't think.
Yeah, so we would have to give up one of our youth players.
Move Steves, man.
Yeah.
Gil Vicente's 16th, bro. They just got a new manager, I believe, as well. They're they're on the ropes a little bit.
Yeah, they were such a great. I've noticed this in Portugal. Once the
highs are high, and then like it can
really
get
low.
real bad.
It's never
really
in
quick.
between.
Santa Clara, bro. There's endless examples of this.
Even in Estoril, they started off their season so well, and last year they did well, and now it's like sort of fickled off a bit. Just a correction.
Famalicão is a great example of that, bro. Europe, and then battling relegation.
Yeah, and this is like 2 seasons now battling relegation. And they have good players for Famalicão. I'll get it. But Navarro's second with 8 goals in 13 appearances. Our pot is 7 goals in 13 appearances. And first is actually Gonçalo Ramos, 9 goals in 11 appearances. Interestingly enough. But I was going to say more or less the same. Like, I'm going to agree with all of you guys. Jaime is the one that scored the goal, luckily, is a name that I'm surprised. One, he came off the bench this game. I don't know if he's been playing often for Famalicão, but he was a name that was like very linked to one of the top 3 or Braga, which I'm surprised has died down a bit. I thought he had a decent game when he came off the bench, at least. And their keeper, their keeper is amazing. I wouldn't not mind having Luis Jr. as, like, we buy these backups from God knows where. Like, I don't know how much we wasted on Vinag. I don't know what we watched to see Israel. No disrespect to the kid. I think the kid, may turn out.
Yeah, do they really have scouts watching Juventus U23? Or is that just
and how much of U23 in Italy are you basing that off and thinking, okay, he can play at a senior level at one point when we did buy him, we were the 6th best league in Europe. Now we're maybe 7th, I think, behind Netherlands, if I'm not mistaken. But instead of taking a guy like Luis Jr., who's proven, and we weaken off one of the other smaller teams that can steal us points. Okay, we might weaken it off against Benfica and Porto as well, but fuck, let's benefit from it too, right? Like, we've been doing it. That's how we won the league, getting the Nuno Santos and the pots from our league. I don't see why, and that's just one example. We can name, like, you guys were naming Navarro, for example, too.
Samuel Portugal would be another option who's constantly been linked to Sporting.
Man, decent backups there, especially with Azan having the performances that he's had.
And then it's like you can just transition to them as a starter. Bro, you can't.
Exactly.
Clearly, we put Israel in there cold, and look what happened, bro. The man just shit his pants.
It also increases the competition within training, because let's be real, nobody's stealing Azan's spot, or no 20-year-old is going to steal Azan's spot unless he's really good. You put a Luis Jr. maybe, who's been proven to be a great keeper here in Portugal. Why not? Like, but anyways, I digress.
Bro, that's how you end up in the Marches and Diogo Costa situation, and then he just overtakes
him. Exactly. But yeah, I mean, I thought we played well. I thought we deserved more, and it just goes back to the eficacia that we simply don't have. No. Paulinho deserved the goal. I was about to ask you guys the man of the match and give mine to Paulinho. The only thing is, there's that one chance in the second.
Remember the one that he tried to pass it first time with his left foot, bro? Trap that shit and rip it on goal, my man. Holy fuck! Or trap it, take him on, and get a shot.
But with that being said, I thought he played really. I thought this was the best Paulinho this season.
Yeah,
If I'm
he
not-
got
if
in
I'm
there.
forgetting
Yeah, he
something.
got it. He got in there. It wasn't a bad Paulinho game,
Yeah. But
Unfortunate to be taken off as well,
yeah, I thought it was like I said, I thought it was his best appearance. But
And then to
it goes
see
back to what
Esgaio
Sam's
coming
been
in.
saying. Why is Edwards? I mean, Tinkong had a good game as well, but why is Edwards always on the bench? That's back to Sam's point. So, but anyways, my man of the match, I'm gonna actually give it to Inacio. Didn't have a bad game. Well, because I'm giving him man of the match, clearly didn't have a bad game. I'm gonna show him some love because we've been very harsh on him, and I think his header. And his header at the end of the game, I think saved us from getting a draw.
Yep.
In my opinion. Sorry, Chris.
No, I agree. Our standards for Esgaio have kind of gone down, but like that's a solid. Not Esgaio, Inacio.
Inacio.
They've both dropped their standards significantly. But yeah, that's a solid game from Inacio, especially considering his recent performances or just the recent trend of his performances.
Exactly.
My man of the match, I will give it to Morita. That's a 6.3.
That's a good one.
I think that's closer to a 7 if that goal goes in. He's unlucky, but I just thought he was like kind of everywhere. That's what I like to see in a midfielder in that role. So yeah.
And before I forget,
he's grown into the role a lot. I still don't know if he's the guy to be a full-time starter in the position, but
exactly.
He's good enough to come off the bench. He could be a lot worse, and we could be doing even worse.
Agreed. I'm interested to see if he plays in the World or how much he plays in the World Cup. Mm-hmm. Japan had a friendly against Canada.
You guys beat him. Canada beat him.
Beat him 2-1 right at the end.
Nice result.
But I don't remember. I don't think he played. I can't remember. It was at work. I was working, so it was tough for me to watch the game and work at the same time. Like I caught bits and pieces. But I don't think Morita played. If he did play, then he gone unnoticed. And before I forget, before I pass it to you, Steph, for your man of the match, they gave it here to Pot. I talked about Eficacia and I ripped Paulinho. I love Pot, so I'll do the same to Pot. In the first half, when he's through on goal, he did a beautiful play where he like dummies it and gets by like two defenders basically, through on goal, 1-on-1 with the keeper. The reason why Pot's not going to the World Cup right now is because he's not burying those chances. If he buries those chances, it's not Ricardo Duarte, it's Pot. Because Pot can play in that diamond that we sort of played today. He can play out wide, he can play in midfield, but you're fucking that up, and that's why you're going to watch the World Cup at home like the rest of us. As harsh as that may sound, because I do love Pot, and I think there's a player, like a great player there. Steph, how about you? Man of the match.
I mean, it's tough choices. I did like Paulinho's performance as well, but by definition, if you're a striker, you need to score goals. If you don't, then he has to drop to the midfield. I don't know what the fuck to tell you. But I mean,
you should start playing 6, bro.
6.
He's got the body for it.
Yeah, 6 or 6 or whatever. But he needs to do something because goals nem cheira. But I'm going to give it to Pedro Gonçalves because if he's left alone and he plays in the position he's used to play, he'll score goals. If you drop him to number 8, he's not productive at all.
Agreed.
So, yeah, Pedro Gonçalves for sure.
Okay. I think that's pretty much it from this game, guys, unless you remember anything else. If not, let's go.
I mean, just the disallowed goal, bro. That was the main talking point. It was crazy.
That was embarrassing. It's
such a long review too. It took them so long.
7 minutes, I think, something like that.
Yeah.
It's a disgrace. The referees in Portugal, they are a disgrace.
Yeah, I agree. All right, question from the only question from Paul Rodriguez at Paul J Rod. He asks a few, so I'll start the first one off with you, Steph. What positions would each of you? Oh, okay, I guess it's all of us. Which position would each of you target in the transfer window? Steph, I'll start with you.
That's an easy one, actually. I would definitely try to get a striker. I mean, that's all we've been talking about. And you both of you kind of touched on it. Morita is a great player, but he's not Palhinha. Ugarte can do it alone. He's burned out. That's why he's been playing some great games, and other games you see he's exhausted. So we need to find someone that can be compatible to Ugarte. I don't know.
Bro, someone, I feel like we don't have scouts in South America anymore. Get
Just sign an
me
Argentinian
a
kid.
20-year-old. Get me a 20-year-old 10 from Argentina for like
Yes.
2 million.
That is true.
What the fuck is wrong with these guys? How hard is this shit? It can't be that hard, man.
But I think we have the solution at home. We just have to trust him and believe in him.
Matheus Fernandes?
No.
Su?
Yeah. And number 6.
Yeah.
Even Renat Vega.
Yeah.
The kid is a monster. But
I mean,
you got to trust them, and you got to, give them a real chance.
Yeah. I mean, Bragança, once Bragança comes back, hopefully he'll recover well from his injury. I think he's going to explode. I think he would have exploded this year, personally.
What I'm saying is, who's our number 6?
Ugarte.
Ugarte. So when Ugarte doesn't play, who plays instead?
Yeah, exactly. Not Sutiri, so I'll tell you that.
Is that true?
Not anymore.
It should be Sutiri.
It should be Sutiri. It's a Sugu now, and I don't think a Sugu's a 6. I think he's more of an 8. The Sugu's not disciplined enough in defense.
Just a tank, so they like play 6.
Yeah, I agree.
What annoys me about Isugu is that sometimes when he passes the ball, I don't know who he's passing it to.
Yeah, that's true too.
That's why he needs
17
to work
years
on.
old though. I don't think he's ready for Sporting just yet, but he's definitely you know what? We were talking about who's on loan to Gil Vicente. Should be a Sugu.
The problem is the B team and the U23s, like if we loaned out the players in the B team that should get loaned out, the B team would just start tanking. Because they've had good results to start the season, and they obviously didn't have the greatest season last year. But man, the U23 team is absolute shite. And they have been shite for 2-3 years now. And the B team, bro, especially if all these guys are in the first team now, is the first team continue. I mean, they might, Vega, even Kalai might even start getting looks at a certain point. It's the B team is just gonna start tanking as well because there is nothing behind it, to fill it in,
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Sorry,
if I had to pick one player, it would be a striker. If I had to pick 2 players, a striker and a number 6. If I had to pick 3 players, a striker, a midfielder, and a center back, because now
what position are we absolutely fortified at? Well, you can make an argument that we could get a reinforcement at probably every position.
Yeah.
I was gonna say maybe fullback we're decent.
Left wing back we're actually set. We got Nuno Santos, we we could even play Fatawu or something in a pinch. Left wing back we're actually set. But on the right we could use an alternate. We could use a center back. 2 center backs. We could use a keeper.
I feel like
Stivs
might come back in January, I think. So if Stivs come back, we may not even need to go out in the market for a right wing back.
Is he even he's not even match fit though? I mean, I guess he would only be coming on for cameos anyway.
Yeah, but nobody will be but by the time that happens, nobody will really be match fit, right? The World Cup will have just finished.
True.
People are starting to get the swing of it, so we'll see.
James Reyes you posted a comment. He says, "What about Shirmiti?"
I remember him in preseason, bro. He's got the touch of Seydou Doumbia, bro. That's the problem with Shirmiti. He's fast and he's strong, bro, but his touch is just not it, at least for now.
Well, how old is he? 17, 18?
He's young. No, he's probably 18, 19. 18, 19, maybe 20.
Maybe 20, maybe. Yeah, let's see.
Yeah. If he was better, he would be there by now, but he's not quite good enough yet. At least I don't think. From what I saw in August.
Okay. Yeah.
2004,
he's 18. For this.
Oh, he's still got time. He's still got time, man.
I didn't know he was a Suriano.
He's not ready for the big time. I mean, Rodrigo Ribeiro is probably more fit to play at the Sporting first team, and he's probably still not even ready yet either. Or
I was gonna say, I don't even think he's ready.
Now, Rodrigo Ribeiro is too soft.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll ever be Rodrigo Ribeiro, but he's closer than Shirmiti is, sadly.
I don't know where Pedro Mendes is anymore, but Pedro Mendes would have been a decent.
Bro, he's Pedro Mendes 2.0, brother.
Pedro Mendes and Pedro Max. I don't know where those boys went, but fuck. It could have been out for us.
He went back to Holland, Marks, and Pedro Mendes is at the second division of Italy, Ascoli. Scored a couple goals this season.
Any current player you guys would loan or sell in the transfer window? Ishgayu for sure, right? I think we're all in accordance with that. Ishgayu. Who else? I can't really. I mean, I would sell the whole team at this point. Give me a second. Let me think. Let me bring
loan
up
out Sotiris, bro.
It's great.
Get him some burn, bro. Loan him to Gil Vicente.
Loan him back to Panathinaikos.
Our like 6.5 million euro CDM from Greece.
Loan him back to Panathinaikos so he can win the fucking league. Poor guy.
Get that man a winner's medal.
So not Rage, not St. Just, Quach, no, Morita, no.
Oh no, I would loan St. Just. He only played 45 minutes.
When he plays though, he's good. When he's playing,
he can't get loaned out. There's no point.
And we did spend 10 million on him.
I know we can. I'm just saying. I mean,
but no, I'm with you.
That was a bullshit deal. That's all.
Agreed.
Yeah,
agreed.
I mean, I would have rather have Renat Vega or
Shikibala. What's his name? What's his name? The center back, bro.
Shikibala. That was the Egyptian.
Now you're talking about our like failed Egyptian prospect.
The B team. Shikilamba. Bro, it's been a long day, bro.
Shikibala.
Shikibala.
That's the guy.
Shikibala is the Egyptian guy, right? I'm not talking
about like our failed Egyptian guy combined with
that was the one fuck up from Bruno Carvalho when he bought the new Maradona from Egypt.
And he's pulling a Ronaldo, bro. Not showing up to training.
Oh shit. Shikilamba, yeah.
Marsa can play too a little bit. You know, the man's shown he's gotten some chances. He's not fucked up really.
No, I would probably loan out Fatawu because there's no way he's playing currently. Roshinha. I think Roshinha stays. But,
there's no point in loaning him either, yeah.
Or selling. I mean, I don't think an offer would come in.
He's probably a locker room guy too. You know, you need some veterans in there.
Yeah, agreed.
League veterans.
Paulo, no. Artur, no. Let's see. Marsa, I think, maybe a loan, but I agree. Nazingu maybe can benefit from a loan.
When Nazingu plays, I like sometimes don't. Half the time he comes in, I'm like, why?
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes I'm expecting something like phenomenal from him.
I'm never that impressed.
Well, Chris, this is what I mean. Like, he's got the speed, and sometimes I'm like, he's going to do something great, and then he fucks it up.
Bro, you know who he kind of reminds me of? In like the same way where like they've got it all. Like the look. I mean, he's even got a good physical profile as well. Remember that Argentinian left back we had, Jonathan Silva? He never had like the cross, the shot, bro. He always put himself in a great position and then would fuck it up, you know? Like, it's just like so close, man, or like almost. It's a million almosts. A man of a million almosts.
I feel like I remember Jonathan Silva being decent in attack, but just like shite when it comes to like defending.
I mean, you get varying performances. Sometimes he's excellent on D. Sometimes he's a liability. Sometimes he's on offensively.
Sometimes he gets a ball hit on his face, and they call a handball in the Champions League. Like, But side note, since we brought him up, I think Jonathan Silva would benefit a lot from this Amorim system 3 at the back. I don't know where he's at. If he's playing 3 at the back right now, I think it might benefit him. Jovan, let me just quickly mention Jovan. That's an issue that we've had for a while, and then we've renewed his contract. Would you boys want to see him go, either loan transfer, or do you want to see him start? Steph, I'll start with you. Not start, at least come on, play. Like starting might be asking for too much. But.
I mean, the good thing is the next games we are playing, it's for the League Cup. So with the players playing in the national team, which actually it's quite a few, he should be given a chance in the League Cup. Let him play, see what he's got. If I'm Amorim, I'm gonna say, okay, bro, You
There's
got three,
chances in the midfield, man, in the League Cup, bro.
you got 3 games to show me what you got. This is for you. I'm going to play you the 90 minutes unless you exhaust and you tell me, and then I'll take you off. So let's see what he's got. I mean, we spend all this fucking money fixing him. At least let's play him for 3 games before we loan him.
I agree. Let's just quick jump to the next question. Any thoughts or ideas on why Edwards hasn't been starting? I mean, he has, but Chris, I'll give that to you.
That's
He has, maybe not as much as we want to.
He's just on the shit list more than others are.
Yeah. And it's obvious why, Chris. Ruben Amorim is all about what you do throughout the week. If you practice well, if you listen to your assistant coach, if you do everything, if you perform well, you will start. And he's not doing that.
But he's still playing good enough where he has no choice but to play him a lot still. But he has to, like, finger wag him a little bit, you know?
I get that. And, of course, I'm not a coach here. I'm just a fan. I get the not training well, or at least, put in some effort.
I think it's also the fact he's slightly more of a defensive liability, at least in Amorim's eyes, than even Trincão or others.
Yeah, I agree. I just
from
think
like a hustle standpoint.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, Trincão, not against Famalicão. Who was the Guimarães? Trincão came on as a right back. Okay, we were playing against 10, but he came on as like a right wing back. What I was gonna say is, I get the training thing, but sometimes there's certain games where you just play your best players, and especially because Trincão isn't on form. You know what I mean?
And look what happened in the Champions League, bro. He had no choice, but also like he was starting Edwards at center striker, bro. So I guess and when push comes to shove, bro, that's who he thinks is his best number 9.
And Edwards is, as for the most part, even when he comes on, he scores goals. It's like we're lacking goals. Why not? But I get it also. Like you're right. If you're not training well, you don't play. I get that. I don't know. Sometimes, especially when we're in the current form that we're in, it's like take a chance. Like if he's playing well, let him fucking play. In my opinion, right? But I'm not Ruben Amorim. I'm a couch manager. Who has been Sporting's best player so far? It's been an amazing season, as you guys know. So a lot of choices. Steph, I'll give that one also to you. I'll give it to all of us, but start it off.
The best player so far. Us, the fans, tolerating all this bullshit.
I like that one.
Really, nobody. I've been disappointed with the whole team across the board. No one has been. I would say
no answer.
I would say Nuno Santos.
I was gonna say him. He's probably the only one.
Yeah, and he's dead now, so rest in peace, Nuno Santos.
Now,
actually, it seems like he got let off. I thought he really was going to be out for like.
I think I think he'll be back for Taça Liga.
James Reyes is saying Ugarte Morita maybe.
That's Morita has surprised me. Morita has been much better than I thought.
Scored a couple goals as well.
Exactly. I think between the 4 goals, Morita's probably had more, I'll say, memorable games than Ugarte has. Of course, Ugarte is more of a different position, like he's more deeper. But between the two, I'd say Morita. I think Morita might be second, Ugarte third. But I'm with you, Steph. Nuno Santos first for me.
Yeah.
It's probably Nuno Santos and Morita, the only ones you can really make a case for, because everyone else is below. Everyone else is below the standard or below the standard they have set for themselves. Adan, Coat, St. Just, Esgaio, Mateus. I mean, Mateus has been all right.
He's been okay. I was gonna say
you could say he's in the top 4 or 3.
Yeah, agreed. And you can even make an argument Mateus Reis is being played out of position most games.
Yeah,
it seems a lot more comfortable.
It's a clusterfuck, bro. Yeah. Sotiris shite, Paulinho, I mean, probably not his best self. Trincão, not his best self. Edwards, it's been up and down.
Yeah.
Pot, it's below his best self.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one name that I don't know. I'll mention it, but because of his injury, we'll never know. But I think Luis Neto was about to have a great season this year. I think he was about to actually take Inácio from the starting 11.
Yeah, I don't know how long he's out for, but he's really unlucky with whatever his shit.
He might. I have a feeling he might retire at the end of the season.
He might be done, dude.
He might make a little cameo at the last game of the season and then Because that's tough.
Because
He had-
Luis Net, what does he bring to the field? Experience, and he
Yeah.
doesn't complicate things.
exactly.
And he stalls. So in the corner kicks that we've been suffering so much, he's actually a really good asset.
What was the game that Luis Neto came on? I think it was this season. Quach, I feel like Quach may have gone off, or maybe not, but Luis Neto came on. He made a big tackle right in like the 47th minute, like the moment he came on.
Might have been
Anyways.
Portimonense, maybe.
Maybe. I was even thinking it might have been Porto, but I don't think so. Anyways, Luis Neto, even this season, he's had moments where I'm with you, Steph. Like he was probably one of our better defenders, and then he got that injury. Oh, it was against Frankfurt. That's who it was against. Frankfurt, and then like 2 minutes later, we go on the other side and we score the 1-0. So yeah, I mean, Luis Neto's another huge. We talked about Bragança. Not enough mentions of Luis Neto. I agree with you, Steph. Last question. Most disappointing player so far. Chris, I'll give that. I'll start that one off with you. I'm just trying to think.
Lot to choose from.
I think. You know what? I think for me, Inacio.
Inacio, St. Just, and Soteris are definitely up there.
Sotiris, I didn't even have that high expectation from.
I kind of did, bro. We kind of spent a good chunk of change. Greek national team, young prospect. It's like, this is the guy.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to walk into this lineup. Not the case.
Yeah.
I'm a bit disappointed with Fatu.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to pop
Me
a
too.
bit more.
Me
Especially
too.
the fact that it's like, because usually with these young guys, right, Amorim does not commit to them even being in the team, right? B team, loaned out. Even Esteves, guys who've gotten chances with the first team, they're not even locks to be in the team. But from the second Fatawu signed, it was like he's in the first team. Like he's a first team player. He'll be in the first team. So it's like, all right, bro. Like he's so good that they can't even. He's not even in that like mid zone where they're bouncing between. It's like he's on the first team. So I was like, all right, let's go.
He hasn't gotten much of a chance.
He's gonna break into the starting lineup within like a month. You know, like. He's the guy, but he's very raw still. Yeah. Very raw prospect.
If he scores against Porto, it's a different story, I think. That one-on-one chance, even though it's only been 3-1, who cares? But it's different. It's a different
mindset for him.
If
yeah, it's true. Ifs and buts for candies and nuts or some shit like that, right? What did Paul Bint say? If my
my grandma had wheels or something, she'd be a bus.
There it was. I don't have nothing really good to put up on the screen, but last little bit before we talk World Cup, the Varandas interview. Actually, I'll just bring up some stuff from our Twitter page. Chris, I'll start this one off with you.
Oh man, where are we even? What are we starting with? Yeah,
I mean, let's start here. I'll start. I'll start with the one opinion that I've seen a lot that I despised and that I've been mentioning a lot on this podcast actually recently. I feel like a broken record always mentioning it, but it's the mentality and how in my opinion it starts from the fucking top. And the man went on national television and
it's a Freudian slip, right? Because it's like in theory, like he could be saying all the right. Because
I think he was laying that up. He's saying Benfica spent 200 million in the last 2 summers.
He can't even hide his mentality. That's what I'm saying. It's like it's so much of his mentality, he can't even hide it, right? Exactly. And he's also not a good enough public speaker to hide it.
Which is such a weird timing this whole interview. But nonetheless, the fact that you're coming out and you're saying, as a president of a club of, let's be real, over the last 40 years, we haven't been accustomed to winning, but at least the mindset has always been we are one of the big 3. It's not the big 2 in Portugal. Internationally, it's known as the big 3.
Or the big 1.
Yeah, exactly. You didn't even talk about Porto. You just mentioned Benfica. It's the big 3. It's not, And the fact that he's saying 2 years after being champion, and also my big thing is back in 2018 he said, I don't want to be a president that wins a title once for Sporting. I want to win a title and have it consistently. Okay, you won a title and now you're telling me you don't demand a title from these guys again to do it again. You talk so much shit about Pinto Costa and maybe some of it deserved. What Pinto Costa has done for Porto has really and truly corruption or not, let's throw that argument aside, has pushed them above Sporting in terms of league titles for the most part. From when I was born, I think Porto had less league titles. Now they have more and much more. You know what I mean? So it's like I said, it's the mentality of this club, and it starts from the top. Bruno, and going back to Bruno, I don't like to make the comparison too much, but at least we wouldn't win with Bruno, but we had a winner's mentality where if we don't win, we try again next year. We try again next year. We try again next year. With Varandas, it's, oh my God, we won. All right, let's make as much money as we can, boys. Do the best you can. I don't demand a league title. It's ridiculous. We're the big three, and slowly and surely, if this keeps up with this mentality, it will be the big two, and we'll be battling with Braga, Guimarães, and fucking Estoril for fucking Conference League, and Casa Pia, sorry, for Conference League. It's a disgrace, I think, for him to go on national television for that one quote that I've seen. But yeah, Chris, take it from there. I know you watched the interview and all. So.
Yeah, I didn't watch it in full.
Or you seen most of it? My bad.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the part I'm gonna defend the honor of my man Mustafa, because this is the type of shit that really gets me. It's shit about you references Alcochete. A couple things need to be set straight, and then I'll give you my opinion on what he said. First off, Mustafa was not implicated in Alcochete, right? He's obviously the leader of Juve Leo, but he was accused, along with Bruno Carvalho, of being authors of the attack, creating it and doing it. They sat in prison cells for over a year. They did not do it, and they got acquitted in a court of law. I know that, like, I think the Varandas just kind of like, because a lot of the media narratives at the time, right? It's like the thing that people say, like, the original tweet gets 1 million likes, everyone says it, and then there's a correction, and the correction gets like 2K likes, right? No one cares about the correction. It's the amazing breaking news at first. Like, I feel like there has not been any sort of reckoning about any of the events that happened at Alcochete. No, like, there's just, and it can't happen until Varandas leaves the presidency. We can actually have an honest conversation and like recap what happened, what really went down that day. Insane fuckery, never before seen fuckery, like precedent-setting fuckery that is still to this day one of the most incredible things that I've ever seen. This really happened at my club, like an event storming the training ground, not unique to my club, not a good event, but the aftermath and the fallout that happened to my club, I know that was just not normal occurrences, right? So the fact that Varandas, in an interview in the year 2022, is even referring to this event when you came to power through one of like the greatest conspiracies that I've ever seen, I would just probably not talk about that event anymore. I would try to make people forget about it as much as possible and not remember it. Bringing it up on your own to lie about an interview that Mustafa did years ago to say that he threatened Alcochete too when he didn't, you're completely taking him out of context from an interview years ago in an interview in 2022 just to shit on Juve Leo, because at the moment it's convenient for you to shit on Juve Leo. You're clearly sicking the cops on them in the stadium. Is not normal, right? We can all see that this is not normal. This doesn't happen at Porto, bro. The cops aren't going in there and batoning the supers are going ever, right? It's only happening in Alvalade. So there's no way that you're not in coordination with it somehow. We know you're fucking with Juve Leo. When it's convenient for you, you want to say that you're making progress. The clocks are signing accords, right? And then 6 months later, things kind of turn. Football results start to go down the drain. You start to get pressure from saucies that previously supported you because they only care about ball going in for football. Well, ball wasn't going in, so they're starting to get pissed. You feel the heat. So what do? You just crank up the war on Juve Leo again. It's so predictable. It's so transparent. And it's really sad, honestly. Like, the atmosphere in the stadium is already so pathetic. The Cartón de Adepto thing, that empty section is just that. Every time you look at the stadium and you see that empty section, that is a stain on the Varandas presidency. That is something that you guys fought for Cartón de Adepto because you were war on the clocks, right? We want to crack down on violence. So we're backing the shit out of this and we support it, right? That empty square is the stain of your presidency. That dead stadium is an absolute stain. The Clacks are at war with each other, and they're also at war with you. So it's just the club is very, very divided, and it's like a tinderbox, right? But I just don't know if there's ever going to be enough spark, or I guess we can only do things. We can only make changes to their club when the football team performs bad enough. So what do we have to do? Like root for the things to continue to downturn. I thought that the ship has stabilized a little bit from like the last like month or two when things are really going to shit, when we were like in 6th. Right now we're in 4th, so it's a little bit better, a couple results, but like I don't know how normal fans can look at what they see happening in the stands at Alvalade and what their president is saying and not get what's going on, what he's doing, how he's just deflecting, you know? And yeah, like what you said, last thing I'll say, the mentality, right? The he's alluded to, he can't even hide it. I don't know if it's poor media training or if he's just openly willing to say that. Does he not even think that it's a bad thing to say that? Also, when he alluded to Amorim, when he leaves for a grand, like inferring that Sporting isn't a grand, like bro, you're the president of this club, man. The direction that the club has taken, the mentality that you're projecting, the leadership or lack of leadership that you constantly project, we deserve better.
Agreed. Well said. Steph, I'll pass someone off to you. Thoughts on the
Well,
interview?
yeah, that's fine. So, man, I don't even know where to begin with this, just because.
Yeah, I kind of got carried away at a certain point.
No.
All good.
Yeah, all good. You brought out some really good points. So, I agree with most of what you said. You did mention a couple of things that they were kind of interesting. That Benfica and Porto invested a lot more money than we did. But we all know that, for example, Benfica didn't spend as much as Paris Saint-Germain or Juventus, and they still perform well against them.
Mm-hmm.
So the argument he's using, it doesn't make any sense. Like you both said, Sporting Portugal, it's one of the big threes. When you're the president of this club, you have to be careful how you deliver message. Just like the presidents of countries like now Biden, before Trump, you have to be careful on how you deliver a message. Like Trump sucked at delivering messages, and Biden sucks as well, and Varandas really sucks as well. We can put him in the same package. Varandas, when he said the Sporting Portugal is not fighting for the title, I understand what he was trying to do. He was trying to protect Ruben Amorim and the present plantel, the team that we have, and we had 12 points from the first place. I get that, but he does know how to deliver a message. He really sucks. No one is coaching him. Maybe he needs the prototype so he could read it off. I don't know, but that was not the way to say it, because now he provoked us, the fans, because we don't think that way. We always think that our club should be in the title race. He basically diminished the players by saying you guys suck. You're only fighting for the 3rd spot or 4th spot, and he told Ruben Amorim basically, listen, I'm not expecting much from you, but if we finish 3rd or 4th, I'll be content. Like Chris said, we're competing against Braga and Guimarães. That's our competition. Porto and Benfica, then in another planet, we're not supposed to fight with them. So guess what? Benfiquistas and Portistas, they're going to have a field day with us now. They're going to make fun of us because our president is an idiot. By saying that, you're giving more fuel to the fire to our rivals. Our rivals now, it's a chance to make fun of us because our president doesn't know what he's saying. He doesn't know how to deliver a message. And the message he sent to the plantel was very weak. If I'm a player, I'm like, okay, he's not expecting much from us, so let's not even try it,
It's like playing for fucking what's an example? It's like playing for Southampton, man. You're making like millions of euros, and no one's got any expectation. You finished 15th, great. You finished 12th. Oh, everyone's excited.
Yeah,
What are we
exactly.
fucking? What are we just expectationless club? What are we even doing anymore?
Got it. I mean, I see what he was trying to do, but his method of delivery, his strategy was off. When he said it very poorly in a provoking way to the fans, even the ones that support him. Because when you buy a game box, when you buy the game box for Modalidades, when you pay cotas, when you buy merchandise, you expecting your club to go far to win the Portuguese Cup, which this year it's gone, the League Cup, uh, you know, the championship, and go far now in the Liga Europa. But what he just said is, we a shit team. I'm not expecting much from you. I don't expect you to win anything, basically. What kind of president would say that? And
Also, it's like, oh, we're a shit team. We're a shit team. We're no expectation of them. It's like, bro, that's your shit team, bro. You
Yeah.
made that team, bro. You did that, dude. Like, or the guy that you hired to do it did that. So by default, by connection, you did that. So it's like, wow, that team's shit over there. That's crazy. It's like
Yeah.
you're directly correlated to that, dude.
yeah, and then his explanation about Mateus Nunes and
Is a
why-
lie.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know if it's a lie or if it's just like he has convinced himself of like an alternate reality in his head enough that he just thinks it's true. Because someone tweeted it out. I think I retweeted it on the account. Like the math that he said about the Porto sales was just not true, right? He said that they like
it was
just-
off. Yeah,
off by the tens of millions of euros,
Yeah,
right? That
yeah.
shit was just not accurate at all. So I don't
At
know if he
all,
just
at all.
made that shit up or if he actually thinks that. I don't know. But it's like he says that they didn't need to sell Mateus Nunes, right? They didn't need to sell it. So why did you do it then?
Yeah.
Why did you do it?
yeah.
The only two options are you did need to sell him, or you're just
You're greedy.
bitch, the George meant.
Exactly.
Or both.
Oh yeah, exactly. I would even go so further to say you're greedy because we sell under your reign, and of course, not all of them has been. You can claim maybe Mateus Nunes here, maybe you can claim Nuno Mendes, but Nuno Mendes was before you. But anyways, we'll say academy prospects because then Bruno Carvalho and certain academy prospects you can claim the who's before Bruno. Was it Betancourt? No, it was oh my god, the piece of shit. What's his name?
Godinho.
Godinho Lopes, exactly. So he can claim that. But we'll say these are his sales, right? Maybe aside from Rafinha, Bruno Fernandes, that really came from the past administration. We've seen record sales under your administration. How are we getting more in debt? How are we even more poor? And then you saying this, like, oh, we didn't need to sell him. Then why exactly what you guys said? Why the fuck did we? Like, as a president, we demand, yes, take care of us financially, of course, but we have to be competitive. And you selling probably one of, if not the best player we have, especially in midfield, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And it was probably our only Seleção player. So, yeah, you can complain about Fernando Santos because he did also in this interview that no Sporting player went to the World Cup. And I know some of us may be feeling away. I seen on our on the Sporting timeline, really, people going off about
no one
Inácio.
thinks anyone deserves anything. No
I
one
don't
thinks
know.
Inácio.
A lot of people are pissed off that
yeah, because they just want to back
Varandas.
Varandas. There's a certain segment that feels like they need to back Varandas.
I don't even think it's backing Varandas.
or just defend the club, right?
Exactly, and I
blindly
get the
defend
point.
the club. Blindly
I get the
defend
point,
the club.
and I'm glad that it's here as well. But at the same time, it's deserved. Antonio Silva has deserved it more than Inácio this year. You can make the arguments of the past 2 years. But anyways, all I'm saying is you can complain about all of that, but you sold our guaranteed Seleção player. I mean, maybe our guaranteed Seleção player. Maybe if
no, he was guaranteed, clearly, because he's been pretty shite and still
and he still went, exactly. So imagine him at Sporting, he'd be playing a lot better. So it's just, it's ridiculous. And in my opinion, what's the timing of this for? What are you doing an interview right now for? This guy talks.
I think it's because Bruno Carvalho did an interview on TVE, bro.
After him, though, and it was random. They asked him a question about Varandas and Jorge Jesus, and he said nobody or some shit like that.
And he also alluded to Alcochete, and that's why I think Varandas talked about Alcochete, because the Bruno Carvalho interview was after, but I had seen the clip where he talks about Alcochete, and he brings up it happened at this club, and You know, like he just brought it back into the consciousness of people. So I guess he felt like he needed to address it because of that. But it's like,
But
bro,
here's my thing. Here's my thing.
why
Luis
are you
Felipe-
bringing that up, man?
Luis Felipe Vieira has had quotes out here. I have yet to see Rui Costa doing an interview right away, dismissing it or talking shit about
Rui
Luis
Costa
Felipe
doesn't
Vieira.
speak, dude. Rui Costa is a ghost, man.
Pinta Costa also, and Rui Costa's recently
He's a
come in.
ghost
He's
too,
gonna
bro.
win. He's gonna win the league this year, but he hasn't done anything else, especially according to Varandas. But Pinta Costa, especially, I haven't seen him do an interview in maybe a decade. And it
Also,
doesn't stop
RTP3,
Barca from winning.
RTP3. What are you?
It's
What are you?
disgraceful.
On the C team,
Disgraceful.
dog?
No, yeah, but
Disgraceful.
the journalist didn't ask any tough questions. I mean, I would have been asking.
No.
Yeah, I
No
would've been asking-
follow up. No, I mean
No.
that's the conditions of the interview. It's a
Yeah, of
softball,
course.
right?
Yeah, because I would have been asking him, hey, could you tell me how much your administrators and yourself have increased your salary?
Yeah.
Because
Or you have the
Right.
numbers of Porto's sales
Yeah.
and your sales in front of you. He says that they made 100 sales, and you're like, no, actually they sold this and you sold that, so
yeah,
your numbers are wrong. Or you follow up on an Alcachet question, or like
I would
you do anything.
I would ask why you closing modalidades.
Exactly.
Why have you not invested in modalidades? Benfica has surpassed Sporting in most modalidades,
Mhm.
exception for futsal. I mean, losing against Praga last game.
Bullshit. It was a bullshit loss.
Yeah,
It's
like
because we were pushing really hard. for the
No,
win.
like I told my father, we haven't lost in 60-some games. Losing one game, it's not a big deal.
It's because like we were going into psycho mode trying to win when it was tight. Like we could have settled for a draw, but we were pushing really hard.
Well, like the ladies, they've lost 2 games like that against Praga and Benfica. They could have settled for the tie, and they're pushing too hard, and then they fucking lost.
Let me quickly on this futsal point. Let me just pick your brain stuff and Chris too, because you both watch it way more than I do. How worried are you after this sort of generation leaves? I know we have Zeke still, and he's very young and stuff like that, but João Matos won't last forever. We've already lost.
Gita and Mendoza have both been linked to big clubs in Spain, and I know that they can pay more. So I think if Eric leaves, if Zeke leaves, if Gita leaves, I think this shit could go. Matus retires, Pani Videla moves on or retire. Like
we've already lost so many players.
It could very abruptly just become a lot worse than it is, you know.
So and like even like Champions League run this year. What do you guys expect? I mean, we've won 2 out of the last.
I expect us
4
to
years?
make the Final Four still.
Yeah,
you know.
easily.
We have the team that can compete this season.
Yeah.
We've already advanced through one of the group stages. I think we could do it again.
They're prepping. They're replacing for João Matos will be naturally Passo.
I'm more worried for like 2 years from now, or even next season. You know,
Passo, it'll fit like a glove. He's already being molded to take over João Matos' functions. Rick Mendoza was supposed to go to Barca, but Barcelona is struggling, and they said they're going to cut down in the investment of modalities. So that will be our saving grace.
someone will pay him. Someone can pay him more than us.
It's not Real Madrid. What's the other one? Movie Star or some shit like that?
Inter Movie Star.
Yeah. So I disagree. I disagree with James. He said, to be honest, I don't care about modalities. So then he doesn't understand what Sporting is all about. The DNA of Sporting was born with modalities since the birth of our club. Without modalities, we're nothing.
This is how I started liking it. If you're wearing this badge, I'm rooting for you. I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
Paintball, ping pong, women's swimming. I don't care. If you're wearing this badge, I'm rooting for you. So
goalball, chess.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Sporting is modalidades. When you speak Sporting Club Portugal, we brag about how many international titles we have, and God forgive me, but we only have 1 in soccer. Everything else is modalidades. So if you don't support our modalidades,
from a defunct competition,
it doesn't matter. You know, track and field, they give us a lot of international.
Yeah, but our track and field. I mean, speaking of cutting modalities, we just lost a bunch of athletes, and that's definitely a money thing.
But they were getting old too. The ones we lost, they were getting old, and we renewed.
Do you think they have a shot to make the next Olympics?
Asada,
because if you have a shot to make the next Olympics, I want you going under the badge of Sporting Club
Okay,
Portugal.
okay.
I don't want you going under the badge of Benfica. Why?
Oh,
You don't.
no.
I know our club pisses away millions.
It's Braga,
to keep
actually.
Braga to keep these
Yeah.
athletes. It's like 100K, 80K. It's like or beach football. The whole season costs 300K. It's like,
But it comes.
How can you not find these funds?
But Chris, it comes to. I know what you're saying, and before I even criticized Veranda on this specific topic, the track and field, I looked into it, and the reality, like Ronaldo, you get old, and then
For sure.
you start you start performing at a high level. Look at Nelson Évora.
Yeah,
he's gone
off
from the map.
Yeah.
The other guy overpassed him and left him in the fucking dust.
Look at Patricia Mamona. She's still doing great, but she's no longer winning medals.
But she's still there. She's maintained her level longer than
but when she goes to the Olympics and World Cups, she's finishing below average now. Fifth place is still good, don't get me wrong, but she was used to win silver, gold, and bronze. So she's declining. And Sara Pereira and the other one that we lost, I forget her name.
But here's another one. Step up with the canoeing. I saw that their lawsuit was actually up the other day, so I was reminded of it again. Those guys win Olympic medals for canoe, and we let them walk.
They closed the section. That was bad. They closed the section. That was really
inexplicable,
bad.
bro. That was unforgivable. So, like, if you have the chance to win Olympic medals and you're representing Sporting, I do not understand how we are not giving them the full support, right? They had controversy with Fonseca. Right? I think the relationship is better now, the judo guy, but like he's winning medals. He's winning world champions. He's winning European. It's like, how are we not fully backing this man? You know, it's crazy to me. Not honoring him in the stadium, and Juve Leo had to honor him separately because they wouldn't let him be honored on the pitch. I agree. We just deserve better, man.
Yeah, I agree. It's Varanda's interview was really off. It just showed how weak he is, because people that support Varandas, hey, you're entitled to support him. Why not? But I had to tell you, his catching phrase was "Let's unite Sporting." He's done. He's done totally the opposite. He has divided Sporting. There's nothing. I was at one point very against claques. I would say, não é preciso claques. Claques para quê? Só fazem merda, não sei mais quê. But then I realized something. As claques, they're part of our culture.
Mm-hmm.
And in Portugal, the claques, they need it. Mm-hmm. Here in America, I mean, how many millions of people we have? That's why the stadiums, they all is full. Even the Notre Dame Navy, they had to go to a bigger stadium because you wouldn't fit in the regular Navy stadium. If they went to the Raven Stadium.
And these are teams that are like 5 and 6, you know.
But I'm talking about a college team.
Yeah,
it's not even a professional team. But the reality is different. We're talking about millions of people. In Portugal, we have millions, but a lot less. And the clubs like Sporting, Benfica, and Porto, they depend a lot on the claques, because the claques they'll go from north to south of Portugal, Madeira, Açores, travel with the team. They put a lot of their time invested in the team, and shitting on them like Varanda's doing. It doesn't matter if Mustafa has a criminal background, because if we're going to look at the Varanda's background, I'm pretty sure he does too. All the shit he said about Pintercourse and all that stuff. Now he has a criminal background too. So, you know, you can judge people.
It takes a very brave man to directly be related to someone sitting in jail unnecessarily for a year, Mustafa Varandas, Alcochete, right? To then like accuse them, you know, or, you know, 16 years ago, he served a jail time for assault. And it's like, yeah, he also served a year for Alcochete that he didn't do, and because of you. So I would probably just keep his name out of your mouth, man.
Yeah. Look, Felice Paris, he just said, I want to Sporting to even win if it's fucking chest. In Portuguese, we have the tendency to say, nem que fosse a carica. A carica é a tampinha da garrafa. Não diz a carica, a carica. So yeah, I'm the same way. I could be watching Sporting playing goalball, and it gets me upset if they lose. Seriously. I want Sporting to win everything. Every time there's something on TV, I want to watch Sporting.
Steph, I'm glad you quickly brought that up, and we'll quickly mention this, and then we'll move on to Ronaldo and World Cup right after. I got a transition plan, boys. But exactly how you mentioned that, like from what he was saying, how much of this quote do you believe? And I'll give my opinion first, where he says, in 2026, I want to deliver the club better than it was in 2022, or better than I did in 2022. You don't have to like me, support Sporting Club Portugal. I think that's what I'm doing in judging or in criticizing Varandas. I don't have a personal like or dislike to the man. I mean, I liked when he was first our medic and he his rise to fame. I kind of even liked him to a certain degree. But I'm saying, and my thing is, I don't going the way you're going. I don't think you're delivering the club better in 2026 because you barely gave it better in 2022. We got lucky to win the league. I won't even say luck. We'll say hard work. But the hard work came because you took a gamble. And all because I hit a parlay today, and hopefully David Pereira is still in the chat, my fellow degenerate sports gambling. All because I hit a parlay today and I get $1,000 doesn't mean that I'm not going to be down in 2 weeks from making stupid parlays like $2,000. You know what I mean? So it's a similar way where going in this route, I will support Sporting until the day I die. In fact, I'm convinced that when I die, my friends are bringing me Sporting memorabilia to put on my fucking casket. So I'm supporting Sporting until the day I die. I told
that to my wife. You better put me versus Sporting.
Yeah, jersey under the suit.
I already know.
Like,
this. If it's an open casket, if I'm not wearing a green tie, fucking nobody's allowed to come in. But what I'm saying is like I'm supporting Sporting Club Portugal. I'm not supporting the way you're running this shit, especially on direct quotes when it comes to the mentality of the club, especially selling players that don't need to be sold in your eyes and all of this shit, really. So that's me. Steph, you brought it up. Krish, before we move on to Ronnie, because there's one quote that he did mention in the beginning. Anything else to say about this interview?
No, I think we covered it all. Yeah, we got the main points. We made our comments about them. Yeah, I feel content putting a pin in that.
All right, kind of putting a pin on that.
But listen,
go, Steph.
Really fast.
Go.
Criticizing Varandas, it's easy, it's obvious, but he's done some amazing stuff too. Renovating the academy, all the stadium with the green chairs and all that stuff.
He has had some good projects.
We
can strive for better. We can do better.
Yes.
We can commercialize better. We can sell better season ticket packages. We can do a million things better.
Let us pay our quotas from America.
You could let people who live outside of Portugal be socios.
Yeah, exactly.
Starting for us all in the calendar year 2023, none of us can pay because they disabled non-Portuguese cards from paying. So if you're a socio not in Portugal, you can't pay for your dues, so you literally can't be a socio anymore.
Hold on.
So
I
know they hate us already as foreign socios, but they're like, you can't even be a foreign socio anymore.
If you have a vendor that's handling that portion of the business and you can figure it out, get another vendor.
Yeah, agreed. Do you guys?
They don't give a fuck, bro. They don't give a fuck. They actively hate us, dude.
Do you guys think it's a good idea if I call my dad on live right now and ask him for the multi-banco digits right now so I can pay my cotas in January, or what do you guys think?
He has like 20 minutes to get to the ATM, right? So it's like 3 a.m. I don't think he's going to be there in 20 minutes.
No, he has to just read me his multi-banco card, I think. Like the numbers.
So you can do it with his card.
We can still do it online. We just can't do it with an American card, I'm guessing.
Yeah, or you can send it to a multi-banco and then they can pay for it.
I have to wire my fucking €6 a month. Amazing.
You'll have to use your father's card, and then pay it that way.
Yeah. It's fucking ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Our cards work in the store for now, still at least. So it's we know that they have the power to process foreign cards. They just choose not to.
Does that change for La Javert now, as well?
No.
I mean, one day you're gonna just try to check out and it won't work, and that's when you'll know that it doesn't work there either.
and then you buy the fake merchandise. It's cheaper anyway. So
yeah, I'll get some bootleg jersey off eBay.
So Varandas also mentioned right at the beginning of the podcast, right in the beginning of the interview, I should say, Ronaldo was never on the table, and that he felt bad because Ruben Amorim was getting slated almost every interview about him not wanting Ronaldo, is Ronaldo coming, etc., etc. I transition really to say, what do you guys think of Ronaldo's current interviews? I know Sam on Twitter was very vocal on him now not wanting Ronaldo ever to come to Sporting because of his current interview with Piers Morgan. Steph, I'll start this one off with you. Thoughts on Ronaldo currently?
Well, Ronaldo always said he wants to play at the high level until he's 40 years old. What it means by that is he wants to play in a team that can support his salary. So at Manchester United now, as we speak, he makes 22.5 million. So
nice.
So yeah, I know. So what? I don't know why the fuck people think he's coming to Sporting. Seriously, we don't have the money, not even to pay 5 million. So he's not coming to Sporting anytime soon. Maybe when he's 40 years old, and then what? He's just going to show up and then wave at the crowd. Hey, estou aqui, já não jogo uma merda, mas estou aqui. You know what I mean? Like my father
I'll buy
said,
his jersey. I don't give a fuck.
I know. That's why my father said, "Oh, he'll come for 3 months. We'll sell a lot of T-shirts and make a lot of money." I'm like,
why not?
The Sporting is better than that. I don't want my.
You guys
Sporting.
see Illich who went back to Maribor, bro? Ronaldo could look like that, and I'm still buying his jersey, bro.
Bro, Illich scored a goal.
Yeah, dude. Penalty, bro. Just sub him on. Anytime we get a penalty, just sub him on, bro. So you can take
Luis Suarez, he went to Uruguay and he became champion of his local team.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And he might go to Brazil. I was reading today. So
he's leaving.
Not done. 36.
Yeah.
He's leaving for sure, but destination unclear.
So Brazil apparently they play well. They pay well. The coaches and players, the top players. Bro. Yeah,
of course.
So going back to Ronaldo, so we don't deviate too much. His interview, I didn't like it either. I will admit it. I didn't like it. I think a frank discussion behind closed doors with the coaching staff and, hey, listen, I want to be let out. I don't know if he tried that avenue and they rejected him leaving.
I think that he has, but this is just for everybody else, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was way off. Some valid points he brought up, but. Was this maybe the last nail on the coffin? Yeah. I don't think he's going back to Manchester United. I think he's done.
They ripped his posters down, bro. It's over. He detonated the suicide vest, right? He's had the vest on, right? He's been threatening pressing the button for like months now, and he finally pressed the button, you know.
I wish him the best. I think he's still a phenomenal player. Is he declining maybe a little, but not as much as people think?
Agreed.
After listening to what he had to say, I was reading it actually. I didn't see the interview. Losing a baby, it's tough. It's and then saying that he talks to his little baby every night.
He has the ashes right beside his dad.
Yeah. So it's tough mentally. It does affect you. And then the other child was in the hospital for 3 months, and apparently Manchester United was not that concerned. I don't know if that's true or not. That's what he said, not me. He said it. But if I'm an MU fan, I don't want him back. I'll say no. Just sell him or let him go. I don't want him back at all. If he wants to come to Sporting, hell yeah, take him to Sporting. But how are we going to pay him? I don't know.
But let's say money's not an issue. Would you take him after all this backlash? After everything?
Oh yeah. Oh no doubt. Of course. Yeah. Shit. He's still going to perform in the high level until 39. He's 37.
If you don't think he can bang him in against Aruca and Santa Clara and away at Famalicão in this game, then you're lying to yourself. You're too much of a hater. You're blinded by hate and rage, bro. Our man Paulinho's got like 3 on the season, bro. This man would have like 10. He'd be right in the top scorers race. He could be playing fuck all. I'm not gonna deny that. He could be playing fuck all, but you're crazy if you don't think he has at least 9 goals and 13 starts, bro, in this league right now.
But Chris, we don't have the money. We don't.
No, and he
Yeah.
and he did mention by Sporting by name in a part 2 today. I was listening like a hawk. I was like, if the word is Sporting is said at any point in this interview, I'm locked in. And he ended up saying it in a kind of weird way. His English, obviously, while very good, is not perfect. So it was kind of a weird transition because he was talking about being the highest paid player in Premier League history, even though he's 37. And then he was alluding, and he was also kind of answering the question about like people saying he didn't have any offers when it's known he had an offer from Saudi Arabia, and there's other offers behind closed doors, obviously. So like the idea that he had no offers was obviously ridiculous, right? And no interest, ridiculous. And he was alluding to like Napoli and Sporting, the two clubs he mentioned by name, not being able to pay him. And that's what I took from what he was when he mentioned Sporting. It means he made it seem like Napoli and Sporting had made him offers, but the offers were so unrealistic compared to what he was expecting. The other offers he had, Man U's offer, obviously $500K a week, right? Our offer was probably like, like $6 million a year or something like that. He's going to make that in 6 weeks in Manchester United with that contract, right? So he made it seem like Sporting did actually make him an offer, but it was just, so unrealistic he couldn't even really consider it. Which goes directly against what Varandas said the night before when he says we didn't even consider it, we didn't even talk about it, was never an option. I mean, if you're not talking about it, right, I think you're kind of doing a little malpractice. If Hugo Viana has not brought it up to you at least once, I mean, what is he even doing, bro? You guys have the opportunity to maybe sign him. It's unrealistic, but like, I know that you've talked about it. I know that you've talked about it, and he's just lying.
Cristiano Ronaldo to come to Sporting, he would have to be the one to be more realistic. He could never demand for Sporting to pay.
He would have
20 million. Not even 10 million. The maximum would have been maybe 5 million.
Yeah, and that's before tax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slimani was on 3.5, right?
I'm pretty sure we could pay 5 million, which would be equal to 10
So in
million.
Portugal, right, we just cut it in half, right? Net versus gross is cut in half, right? So Amodi makes like 6, right? So we can safely assume he makes a 12 before tax, right? Maybe we could have offered him 15. So like 8.5 take home. But that's still just what do you say? He makes 20. He makes 20. So that wouldn't 22. Even be half, and it would still be a force,
Yeah, they would have to ask the Portuguese to do a fundraiser like uma vaquinha.
As cotas já foram para cima, Manu. Like, how much more do we have to fucking pay?
I mean, me and Chris, we want to pay. They're not accepting our credit card.
Hey, I don't accept mine either, bro. It's the same shit.
I'm gonna have to bother my old man to do it for me, and then send him via PayPal. I'm like, it's just amazing. And then queremos ser tão grandes como os mais grandes da Europa. Oh, that's
no one there even believes that clearly. And it's like, I believe that, but you don't, the people with power at the club don't believe that.
I don't get it. How can Sporting Apoio say to us Americans, we're not accepting your credit card? So I'm like, how am I supposed to pay then? Oh, I'll do it this way. I don't live in Portugal, so how the fuck am I supposed to pay? I'm supposed to go out of my way and ask my
ambitionless club. Just doesn't even take advantage of like what they even have in front of them, let alone carve out new outroads. Bruno Carvalho, you could shit on the Costa Rica Academy. You could say it was a fail. You could shit on the Singapore Academy, but at least there's aspiration there. There is negative aspiration from this administration, and they clumped into a fucking COVID title, bro.
Bruno Carvalho, just on the Sauce thing really quickly. Bruno Carvalho even introduced the Sauce in a minute. That's basically how I became a Sauce. Really.
Look.
One and two.
Look. This is from Sporting newspaper. Under Bruno Carvalho. I showed up in the newspaper in the back of it. A full interview. Giving relevance to immigrants. And now they don't give two shits about us.
They gave Nuno Gabriel a little interview as well.
Years ago, though. They haven't done fucking fuck all since.
They haven't done fuck all.
But quickly, at the same time, Steph, you're lucky you have a dad there. I have family there, but, for the most part, I grew up here in Canada, or not for the most part, I grew up here in Canada. So like my family is like few and far between. I don't think I have the relationship to ask people for like, hey, send me your visa so I can PayPal you some money to pay my cottage. Just an example, a friend of the show, Lauren, who has no family in Portugal, no real ties in Portugal. I think she's a socio. I could be wrong, but I think she's a socio. How the fuck does she pay her cottage? I guess they accept British visa now that I think of it, but
Yeah,
like, if she lived in the States, how the fuck would she be a socio? How are you trying to make this a big club and this is
I guarantee you Abdallah from Jordan can't pay his shit through a Jordanian card.
But anyways, back on Ronaldo, let me just quickly say the part 1, and I just checked. I'm 20 minutes into part 2, so I haven't watched everything. I've loved so far the interview. I'm gonna be completely honest. He's basically burned his bridges with United, but that bridge I think has been burnt for at least 3 months now. And he's called out the club for things that the fans have been complaining about forever. So the fact that the fans are turning on him, I'm a little confused.
You know what? I heard that I could say the same thing about Sporting, right? Alvalade and everything got built in 2004, and they haven't touched that shit since.
Exactly.
Miguel Garcia could come back to the club and be like, he could say the same thing. The jacuzzi was the same. The cook was the same. Miguel Garcia, he was here in 2005. He comes back, bro. He's going to say the same fucking thing.
But at the same time, they remodeled the academy.
Expulsões já mudaram.
No, listen.
I'm kidding.
No, I know you're kidding, but you could make fun of them. Os expulsões foram mudados. But not only that, though, the pitches.
They added a couple new fields, right? And they remodeled the
cafeteria. Yeah.
But okay, and this is Sporting. And this is Sporting. Imagine Manchester United. Is what I'm saying on this.
The stadium is falling apart at Sporting as well. The outside looked great, but then when you go in, I did the tour, and the balnearios from the visitor side, it was disgusting. I thought it was worse than my high school, Kearney High School back in the day.
Even the I don't know if they did it on purpose. For example, like the stadium, the outside, there's certain like tiles that like the sun has really like.
Yep, cooked them. Really absolutely
cooked it. I don't know if it's on purpose. The João Benedito jersey outside is pretty much like
cooked.
Non-existent. Like you don't see.
You take a lap around that stadium on foot, and you'll just look around at some things and just be like, "How is this even possible, man?" It's
but
like,
now
no one looked at this for 10 years, for 8 years. Like this has been like this for years, and just no one gives a fuck.
Since I've been born, that's what I remember Alvalade being.
I hate to say it, but how do you compare? How do you compare that one thing with the other? You have to go to your neighbor, right? So I did go to Benfica. My wife, she's Benfiquista. Everybody knows that. And my daughter too. My son is Portuguese, thank God. But we did a tour of Stade de Luz, and I hate to say it, it's in much better shape.
Of course.
Much better shape. Even the museum.
It's a choice. It's a choice, right?
The museum is 10.
And right, and if you make the outside of the stadium look perfect, right? That doesn't mean that you're running the club well or that you're gonna have success, right? It just speaks more to like your attitude, right? More than anything else.
It talks about how much you love the club, how much you care about the club,
where your priorities are.
Yeah,
and they're
the
just
quality,
out of whack.
the brand name of the club, because Benfica Museum was 10 times better than the Sporting one. The Sporting one, it was like they found a corner in the basement, and
let's
not
put great. And they didn't show you around. They're just like, go explore. Yeah, I'm like, tell me about some of these great guys. You know, like.
No. You stopped at the entrance of the museum.
They're like, go explore. Go take a selfie.
I didn't like that either.
You're by yourself. Yeah. And then and
then you're like cycling, and I went with my girlfriend. She's telling me, "Oh, cycling! They have a cycling team." I'm like, "Well, actually, they don't have a cycling team anymore, but So
you guys recently went. I went last year, and I was with Lauren doing the trip, and so we were in the English section because obviously Lauren doesn't speak Portuguese, so I stuck with Lauren. We did the English section.
We did English tour as well.
So we were with some British dudes that. They knew something but didn't know everything. So as we're going along with the tour, me and Lauren are basically like educating these guys more than the fucking tour guides because we're like, oh yeah, like this is that, and or in the museum, we're looking at like the Champions League for futsal, and we're explaining the futsal thing. And even the tour guide is like shocked. He looks back and he's like, "Oh, like you guys are fans of the club or something, or like so we have to explain our whole story to it." Like it's just like I'm with you guys. It's like it's ridiculous. Like it's a tour, bro. Fucking tell us about this shit. We have a a whole thing of trophies. Like at least pinpoint some of the big ones, especially the recent ones. We're European champions for futsal, hockey, right?
Yeah.
2020
yeah.
won the league for
bro.
basketball. Basketball was legendary. Like, come on, man. Like,
Yeah, no, not at all. I mean, the Benfica Museum had 2 floors, and then they had an elevator shaft that took you like up and down with a bunch of noises, and you could see the eagle fly. It was just amazing. And we had a theater with 10 chairs and no movie from 1960. And it looked like
the YouTube video they played was just pathetic. As well.
Pathetic.
I'm like, why am I even sitting here and watching?
I know
this?
It looked like
a joke.
Everything
was not even updated. The most recent thing in the video is like
nothing.
2017.
Yeah,
it's like all Macron. They didn't even become Nike yet. It's like
they don't even try it. It was like things was.
When I was there, they showed the title winning the like a little bit of the clips. I think there's like a 5 or 10 minute video of us winning the league. That's what they showed. But I went in 2021, right? Like right after.
Oh yeah, you're right. They did add that, but none of the modality shit.
Everything else.
No, nothing.
Recent. Yeah. So they clearly had a video, and then they're like, okay, add the title shit, and that's it.
That's it.
And then we couldn't see our own locker room because it's sacred. What the fuck? I'm like, what?
For this, I went to the Real Madrid fucking locker room when Ronaldo was still there.
I went to the Benfica one. They were.
I went to the Benfica. Lets you go in.
Okay, Benfica's Benfica. Like I'm talking about European champions. I went in 2016 to Madrid where they won. They won La Decima, and they let us into the fucking locker room to see Ronaldo's. They just taped it off so we don't touch it. I went to the Ajax stadium. And that same year, they let us fucking sit down on the fucking bench.
But now you know why.
We're just too good, dude.
Now you know why we have the name of Croquettes.
Yeah,
it's because of fucking.
Well, like I mean, I went into the newly remodeled Tribuna area, the Sporting corporate area.
I know
it was looking nice.
It was looking nice.
It
was looking nice for them, but. Because my question to the tour guide, because the tour guide he came with us for that, I was like, so if I want one of these boxes, can I get it? He said no. I'm like, why not? If I have the money and I want to rent the box for one game. I was thinking like an American.
Yeah, let's just drop you spend a couple $1,000 divided up 12 ways, it ends up being a couple hundred each. We can do it.
Like any game in the Mets Live or Lincoln. Or Flyers or Devils, you could rent a box,
and there's a process established for doing.
There's nothing. You know what he said? No, that's not available to the public. It's only available to companies that buy these boxes for the whole year. So this box could be empty in certain games. Yes, because they own it for the whole year. It's not available to the public. So what you're telling me is you guys don't know how to make money.
Exactly. Steph,
that's exactly what they're telling you.
But you tell maybe a European or predominantly a Portuguese businessman this, and they're saying, "Oh, it's the American model. It doesn't really work here." Arsenal, I know for a fact, Arsenal do this. In England, they do this. You're telling me Sporting Club Portugal can't?
Exactly.
Yeah,
bro.
I'm with you.
My job. So this is actually one of the funniest things because it's actually one of the most common excuses you'll see. They're like, oh my God, the stadium is empty. Or people will be like, one of the more common complaints is like, all these seats are not even available to purchase online. And then I'll pull up at the stadium for modalidades especially. And then there's no one there. It's like, these are game boxes, but they don't come. So like they're sold, but there's not an ass in the seat when time comes. Okay. I worked for a professional soccer team in the United States. One of my primary jobs was to sell partial season tickets. That is not even a concept that exists there. And tell me how that would not solve the problem of it's sold, but there's not an ass in the seat. Okay, not everyone could go to every game. So buy a 5-game plan, buy a 6-game, buy a mini plan, right? Like, it's not really that crazy of a concept, right? Just start selling partial plans. And it's not like they even have outbound sales, right? Any sale that they make is just a sale that comes to them, right? There's not a sales department, there's no ticketing department, there's nothing, right? So if you just created like 3 people to do like ticketing, you create some new plans, you develop some outbound sales, it's like you could fill the stadium. Even with your bullshit war on the clocks, bro, you could be doing better than 28K, 31K, bro. These attendances this season are fucking embarrassing. We've been shitting on the attendances for years, but this season especially, the first digit doesn't even start with a 3 half the time. That is shocking.
The way the stadium was built, it was built in a very weird way, and the only reason why I'm saying this because I had to compare it with Stade de Luz, Stade Javelot. So we went to Stade de Luz first, and I was actually mesmerized. I'm like, damn, this is actually a pretty modern, good-looking stadium, except for the colors, of course. But the Segunda Anel, it was complete. The whole thing. All the Segunda Anel was complete with comfortable seats, with cushion. You paid more, of course, but wide a view of the stadium. The tour guide, I told her from the get-go, so Sportingiste, and she said, okay, it doesn't matter, but you're gonna love the stadium. You can see that any seat in the second Anel, and you can see the game perfectly. So I took her challenge, and I sat in the curve. I went to the middle, the north curve, and I'm telling you, you could see the game in impeccable manner. The Sporting one, the second NL, didn't go on to all throughout the stadium. It stopped. It stopped midway. And that's so fucking ugly. Why didn't you finish it?
That's why LED panels along the second level will never
be
work.
possible.
And they lie and they say that they were going to do that. And anyone that knows the stadium knows that that's fucking impossible or insanely expensive.
Exactly. It's insanely expensive. It's like the TVs blocking X amount of seats. They could have put the TVs in another way, but it costs money. Like Ufosu throughout the field. You know, what the fuck do you have that for?
We can blame the architect for both of these errors, right?
Yeah.
The second level not being all connected and the moat, which is pretty stupid to begin with. We can blame the architect and the rainbow chairs. You can put that on the architect as well, but at least
our stadium is inferior
15 years later.
Than Benfica one. It is. I hate to say, but our stadium is inferior than Benfica. They're more modernized.
It's maintained better, and it was made slightly better.
Yeah, slightly better, indeed.
Even but they're still both UEFA 5-star stadiums. I mean,
yeah, but they need to remodel it. I mean, they talk about Manchester United. Ronaldo made a good point. Sporting is in the same ship, same boat. Yeah. I heard the most beautiful stadium in Portugal was actually Football Club Porto. I didn't have the time to go. They have the best museum with technology and all that stuff. That's what I heard.
I haven't went, but from pictures, it looks nice. I'm kind of hopefully Dave Pereira is still in the chat.
I don't like open stadiums. I feel like it lets the sound escape too much, and that's my one critique of the Dragão. Seems a bit too empty to me. Like the back columns, especially, feels like it's not enclosed, so it doesn't create that that atmosphere. It seems like too much sound can escape. But again, I've never been there for a game, so I wouldn't know.
They said the museum; it's a whole pavilion.
Yeah, really.
It's like the features, the technology is just amazing, and I didn't have time to go. They said that even in Ronaldo's museum, it's better than Sporting's.
I like our stadium. I just wish the tour guides gave a bit more context to everything.
It's like anything else, right? There's potential, but there's just no ambition, and it could be improved, right?
Yeah.
And no alcohol inside the stadium. I mean,
you can blame the Portuguese.
I was gonna say.
Portugal has gone back instead of going forward because as Roulotte is just 100 feet away. Mm-hmm. So if you could get drunk before the game and still go inside the stadium. So
you sure can.
Some bourges, so they don't know how to make money.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna wash it down with a Superbox 0-0 in the stadium.
Yeah.
Last but not least, boys, let's talk this Qatar World Cup. I mean, there's so much we can already digress. I mean, fucking the Portuguese fans are already out there. The German. Oh, how much of that have you completed, Steph?
I'm missing
Stefan Eustáquio.
68 stickers.
Oh, not bad. How many? Who of Canada are you missing? Out of curiosity.
I'll tell you.
Yeah.
You got Morita and Ugarte and Coates
Yes, I got all
and
those.
Fatau.
And Fatawu.
Yeah, I do.
Those are our 4 players, right? At the World Cup.
That's
Do you have
pretty
any more?
I think Poru should have been called up, to be honest.
He's unlucky, but he's been a bit
unlucky.
out of
But
form.
he's been
this
injured.
season and
He's been injured,
Yeah.
exactly. So I don't blame them for not bringing him.
Hey, that's what happens when you only play 45 minutes.
The World Cup was last year. I think
St.
he's
Just
actually
is another
going.
one. St. Just is another one that could be on the plane for Netherlands, but you have glass ankles, bro.
Yeah.
Anyways, while you look that up, Steph, let me quickly bring up the Portugal squad. It's on the screen here. So goalies: Diogo Costa, José Sá, Rui Patricio. I think when we did it, Chris, last week, did we bring up José Sá or Rui
We
Silva?
swapped him for Lopes because we
Or
said we
Lopes.
shouldn't bring a goalie with a broken wrist.
Let me see that, bro. Eita cheio, mano.
Hey, I'm missing.
Eustáquio.
See it? So
Who's number up? 13. Who's
Can
number
13. Is he number 13? Or is that just sticker 13?
Piet, maybe? No, Piet's right there. I don't know who number 13 would be. Hutchinson?
read the name.
No, Hutchinson's beside him. Oh, it is Eustáquio. Yo,
Yes.
see how I guessed that?
Yeah.
Damn, bro. You
I
got
mixed
everybody
it.
else.
No, I'm missing Eustáquio and Maxime Kripo.
He just broke his leg for LAFC. He's not even getting called up anyway. So,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he broke his leg in MLS Cup.
Commiserations, Chris.
I watched that
nonetheless.
shit. It was fucked up. And fuck MLS Cup as well.
Fuck yeah, facts. Anyways, the Portuguese squad: Diogo Costa, José Sá, Rui Patricio. We'll start actually there. Goalkeepers, I think I'm okay with that. Maybe Rui
Patricio,
Silva.
I thought was actually okay.
No,
They
no.
saved the Peno as well, kind of.
Yeah,
No,
today, yeah.
No, I
You don't
wouldn't
like
have
it?
called Patricio. No.
No,
No, not Patricio. I would have called Antonio Lopes.
Same, but
I mean, that's
Sa's got
fair.
a broken wrist, bro. That man is
Yeah,
not
I would've-
healthy.
I mean,
Oh,
third
so-
keeper, who cares? But really, emergencies sometimes happen.
Oh, Sai is
But
not
Reese
going
clearly
anymore?
the backup.
No, Sa's there,
Danny.
Sa's
we,
there.
we, we went back and forth about this also as well. Which is the backup? If Reese playing today, he's the backup, right?
Oh, of course.
Or is he
no,
the
no, no, no.
starter? Or is he the starter?
No, there's no way. There's no.
I
way
don't think
he's
he is
starter.
either, but he's
Rui
definitely the
Patricio.
backup. He's at
Nah.
least the
There's no-
backup.
No, there's
No.
no way. Yeah,
No.
at least the back. Yeah, he's second choice. He's second choice.
So
Yeah, he's
Sal's the
second
third
choice.
He's
string.
second choice.
Second choice for sure. Yeah.
Defenders, we have Pep, who's coming back from an injury. So Pep, I'll do center backs first. Pep, Antonio Silva, Danilo, Ruben Dias. How are we feeling about that? I'm okay with that, personally.
Just fine.
Pep, Antonio Silva, Ruben Dias,
And
and
Danilo.
Danilo. I'm okay with that too. Yeah. I think Antonio Silva is putting together a phenomenal season.
Even today, he had a block on that.
He had a
Nigerian
nice
guy.
game. He had one. He got
Beautiful.
cooked once, but he had a good game otherwise.
Antonio, but he's the type of player to get cooked at least once or twice in a game. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
But
he can,
that's-
he can cost us a game as well as he can like.
They were also low key.
like
Low key, they were shite as well.
But that's
They're-
every
they're
player.
horrible.
I mean, I've
They
seen
played
great-
horribly.
I've seen
at
great
least.
players being cooked every game, and
especially as a defender, especially.
Yeah.
Anytime they got to
I
the
thi-
final third, their final ball was just so fucking bad, dude.
I mean, but sticking on Antonio Silva, I think the kid has a really big future ahead of him personally, and I can't wait for Benfica to sell him. I hope they sell him at the very latest next summer. But anyways, Diogo Dalot and João Cancelo right back. No
It's
issue.
fine.
I'm
No,
okay
no
with
issue.
that. Yeah.
What are you guys? Okay, actually, let's go left back. Nuno Mendes, Rafael Guerreiro. I think that's
The
perfect. fine.
commentator made it seem like it was he's like there's actually a section where he's like they're just talking about like who are the just definite starters, and they're like a left back that's open. It's like, bro, No, it's not open.
It is
Nuno
no.
Mendes.
It is open because it's Fernando Santos, but it
It
shouldn't be open.
shouldn't be open.
It shouldn't be open.
It should be.
You bring up that point. I've seen a lot of ruido on Twitter, especially left back João Cancelo, right back Diogo Dalot.
No.
I'm not opposed to it on certain games,
Yeah.
but Nuno Mendes is way better than at left back than Diogo Dalot is at right back, in my opinion. I don't know
Oh,
if I should
definitely,
say.
definitely.
All right,
Dalot's in good
midfield.
form,
Sorry.
but you know.
Dalot isn't, bro. Dalot played well today too. To be honest,
Yeah.
from the little I've seen, he played really well today. He'd be good. João Cancelo has a red card in him, or has a yellow card accumulation in him. Midfield, João Pelinha, Ruben Neves. I'll include Bernardo, Bruno Fernandes, João Mário. Funny enough, Mateus Nunes, Otávio, Vitinha, and William Carvalho. Any complaints about that? I feel like there may be complaints. Steph, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I wouldn't have called William Carvalho for sure.
Or Mateus Nunes, bro.
Even
that's the
Mateus
big one.
Nunes.
Geds played himself off the plane. Somehow Nunes didn't.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I wouldn't have. Yeah, I agree with Chris. I wouldn't. I'm okay with Vitinha. I'm okay with.
You think it was
Otávio.
shite today? I thought. I'll just throw
Yeah.
that out there as well.
Yeah,
It
but he's
happens.
he has to be on the plan.
I wouldn't even call the como é que chama aquele o Neves. I wouldn't even call Neves.
Oh,
either.
and Neves. Yeah. Wolves aren't playing well, but instead of Neves, who do you call? That's my only thing.
Yeah.
So you have a bunch of choices in the sub-21 team that you can upgrade to. I know it's tough. I mean, it's tough, but you never know. They might play phenomenal in the national team. At least he cut João Moutinho. That was a surprise. I thought
Yeah.
João Moutinho was gonna come. I'm
Me
okay
too.
with João Mario because João Mario has actually been playing solid.
I agree, but where was João Mario in this Portugal team when he was champion of Portugal? That's all I gotta say.
Nah, I know, I agree. But
Começou a vestir vermelho, já está na
yeah.
seleção outra vez. O que é esta merda?
Otávio is a good choice as well. I thought
Yeah,
I like
Otávio played well
Otávio. I like
today.
Otávio.
Dude, Otávio, I think he's gonna get some burn at the World Cup. I'm not gonna lie.
I agree.
He
think
is
so too.
Renato Sanchez now, to be honest.
Are you guys?
yeah,
upset
there
about,
it is.
I was
There
gonna
it
say,
is.
are you guys upset about Renato not making it? I'm
I
not.
No,
would-
because we have Otávio, dude.
And
But I would-
Renato to me hasn't been playing enough.
And he's
would've-
not in form or fit, probably.
Mhm.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah.
So then it'll be the same thing as calling Neves or what's his name,
Nunes.
Mateus Nunes. Okay.
No, at least they're playing. They're playing for a
Nunes has
shit
gotta
team,
be
but
like-
at least they're playing.
Nunes should not see the field. There's got to
No, I
be
agree. I
many
agree.
bodies ahead of him. Neb's ahead of him.
I agree.
Mario ahead of him. Otávio ahead of him. Nunes should not be
William
on the
at 8 is ahead of him, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't. If he gets on the field, something really bad happened, or if Saran Sense is on some crazy shit, dude.
Yeah. All right, let's start. Last but not least, the strikers: André Silva, Gonçalo Ramos, João Félix, Rafael Leão, Ricardo Horta, and of course Cristiano Ronaldo. Any complaints there, boys? I have one or two. To be honest,
I don't. I think it's a good.
I'm nervous that
good
Andre
match.
Silva's actually shite because I think this was a great
Yeah.
opportunity for him, for the anti-Ronaldo crowd to really latch on to their new number 9. But it's like that was not impressive at all, bro. I'd rather have Ronaldo out there. I'm not gonna lie, because
André Silva is on good form for Leipzig, though. But
he's on fake good form for Leipzig.
yeah, I agree.
He has a couple goals. He's not a consistent starter, to be fair. He starts like 2/3 of the time. When I watched him, I watched a Champions League game of his so recently, and I was like, oh my God, this is so shite. But he bagged 2 goals, and it's definitely going to mask an otherwise like very underwhelming performance because he had 2 tap-ins. I was very unimpressed today. Even guys that I'm usually very unimpressed with, like Felix. This is a classic game for Felix to just do fuck all. But I actually thought Felix played pretty well today. Yeah, and they were shite too. And it's like Andre Silva still can't even get it going. Like, not good. I'd rather have Ramos, bro. Like, Andre Silva's gonna be 3rd on the depth chart, bro. Like,
no, Gonçalo Ramos has been playing great. I mean, I've always liked the kid, even before Benfica started playing him on a consistent basis. I think he was a phenomenal player. The one switch I would make in the strikers would be Horta for Bet, the one who's playing Italy.
I was going to mention him. I was gonna mention Beto instead of André Silva, but that would be such a stretch for Fernando Santos to randomly do that.
No.
I would say instead of Horta, I
You
like
see Beto
Horta.
Loki called himself shite in an interview. He's like, I'm
Okay.
scoring a lot, but I'm not playing well. He literally said that like last week.
Talk
bro.
yourself out of the plane, bro. I like Ricardo Horta, but is he better than Gibbs? I don't think so.
I don't know. It's like it goes
It's
back
like
and
me.
forth. Their form, obviously, Horta is probably in slightly better form, but Horta's not in his like freak form where he's averaging goal and assist a game.
Braga recently hasn't been performing that well. I don't think Ricardo Horta has been performing that well.
No, me
he hasn't.
neither. He
He's
missed a
been
PK.
he's fallen off a bit this season compared
He
to
missed a
last.
PK at home.
Exactly, and a good shout for instead of even Beto and instead of André Silva. I might even make the argument Gonçalo Ramos, but Gonçalo Ramos is top goal scorer of Portugal, so I'll keep my mouth shut. Vitinha from Braga. You want to bring one Braga player? I think it's more so Vitinha than you bring Ricardo Horta. Vitinha is.
It feels like this team doesn't have a wild card,
and I love that.
Who's the wild card of this team? There's no wild card.
But there
Leão maybe, but Leão's known now.
He's not a wild card. He should be starting.
He's known now.
Bro.
He has to start now.
But for that sense, when he picked André Silva and Ronaldo, that's two strikers de raiz. Horta is a
Silva
mobile
especially,
striker.
agreed.
Horta is more a mobile striker, you know what I mean? So that's why you picked him.
Agreed. And it's Horta's a mobile striker. Leão's a mobile striker. He can play on the left. Felix can play anywhere in the front three.
Yeah.
It's really and Ronaldo started his career at left wing. I think we only have two strikers, and that's Silva and Ramos.
Silva and Ramos.
That's it.
And
Two
Ronaldo.
clear
And Ronaldo.
strikers.
Yeah. And
Ronaldo, now. But he started his career off as a left winger. I don't know if he's moved to the center because he's old.
I feel like he's a center forward now at this point.
Yeah,
so Mickey
fair.
T, is that how you say his name? The last comment, Mickey T?
MCYT maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, MCYT. He said
I don't know.
Mentuzu is way better than
Mickey T.
Otávio.
A year ago.
No one is contesting that. We're talking about his form.
I would have agreed with that a year ago. I don't think I agree with that right now.
João Mário
Me neither. Yeah. João Mário is playing much better than Otávio as well. Matheus Nunes is still better than both of them. Agreed with him. But as of now, if I'm a coach of the national team, I want players that's in form. Who's playing better today? Because
that's why the England squad is absolutely hilarious. Because it's like it is not who's playing well today. It's who's playing shite today.
Maguire made it, but my boy Tomori didn't. Tomori, you should have chose Canada, you bozo.
Yeah, my man Gareth Southgate
born in Calgary.
They should imprison that man.
We don't have time to put a team together and regain the rhythm. You have to come with rhythm. It's a small tournament. It's only a month.
Yeah.
No Font and no Moutinho, though. You got to give him a little credit, though.
William's still there, so how much credit do you want to give? Well, William's having a good season.
He's never taken an unproven 18-year-old unless he's at Benfica. But to be fair, he did it, though.
True. Two quick questions. This is a yes. Well, two quick questions. Do you feel a way for no Sporting player making the seleção? I don't personally, Steph.
No, not at all.
Sad, but it's the direction we've been trending, right?
Because me as a Sportingista, I have to be totally honest. None of our players have performed well enough to be in the final national.
But how does it make you feel generally? I think we all agree that no one deserves it, but it kind of makes me feel sometimes. I mean, bro, think about the Euro 2016 squad. It was like current Sporting or Academy.
But
it's like
hold on, you guys kind of cut me off because look, go back to that picture you were giving us. Go back to it. Well, today.
Hey, bro, I'm clicking as fast as I can go, bro.
Okay, so we'll start from the top.
We got some Sporting there.
Okay. Dois, Rui Patrício.
You want to count Pep?
from the top.
So 1,
Ronaldo, 2.
Nada. 3, 4, 5. Bruno Fernandes, where we
5.
Bruno? 5, 6,
6,
7, 8 with William. 9 with Leão.
9. Okay. So you don't think there's nine Sporting players? There it is. There's 9 Sporting players.
Okay, Steph, let me tell you. Two rescinded their contract with this bozo and this
No,
bozo right here.
I know
Three.
that. I know that.
One's currently playing in Benfica. This piece of shit over there.
I get it.
Actually, dude, 4 of them rescinded their contracts. What do you mean,
Yeah.
2 of them?
Yeah, another rescinded. Bruno, I'll forgive. Bruno.
He still did it though.
No, he didn't, bro. He fucking. I have the Men in Black laser beam to forget my memory.
You guys sound like Varandas. Holy shit.
But
You know
but
what?
yeah, 9 players, not
Sporting
bad.
doesn't
We're still
need to
represented.
have-
I agree with you, Steph.
See what I mean? It doesn't have to be directly involved, connected to Sporting.
Ainda estamos a
this
formar os
season.
jogadores.
Positive spin zone right there.
There it is. Yeah.
We got 9 in
last-
the squad.
Last question, and I'll ask you for both of your teams because I think at least you'll both be supporting 2 teams this World Cup. I will be supporting 2 teams, mainly one until one gets kicked out, probably in last place in the group. But we'll not discuss that because I don't want to talk bad about Portugal here. Steph, where do you see the United States making it in this group or in this World Cup? Excuse me.
Okay, hold on. Let me just look at the
United States. I'll tell you now. It's England, Wales, and Iran.
In Iran.
First game is against Iran.
No, first game is Wales on Monday.
It's Wales. Yes.
I think we have a chance to at least finish second and then move on to the round of 16. And then depending, I think the US could easily
Does
clinch.
it scare you that they have, quote, no idea who the captain is?
Well, yes, of course.
That's a Weston McQuinney quote from today. The World Cup is on what? Their first game is Monday. First game's in 4 days, and they have no idea who their leader is. Kind of suspicious.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I know. I mean, the US, they've been kind of on a roller coaster. The only credit I'll give them, they have a lot of youth. And I like that. And I wish them the best of luck. But they won't win they will not win the World Cup at all. No.
Bro, I think I seen something where United States were like top 6 like betting odds or some shit like that.
Americans are
no,
psychos.
like Americans are all betting on them is what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you're saying maybe second place to England in the group?
Yes.
Yeah, but bro, I also could see England just completely shitting the bed, and
I mean,
there's gonna be VAR. My man is a VAR wizard.
but against who do you think they will lose in that shitty group?
No, I think it could be a group where it's like kind of like Sporting's Champions League group where it's like 5, 6, 4 or something, and someone just gets fucked.
Well, Wales is not a bad team, and Iran.
They're past the
Gareth
best,
Bale.
though.
All
They're
that
past
man
the
needs is
best.
one chance. Clearly,
That's true.
Iran, they have players with a lot of experience. Tanemi is
Yeah.
a phenomenal player. Even
Daniel
though
Queiroz is their manager.
the more I think about the U.S. as group, the more I think about how it could almost literally finish in any order.
yeah.
Agreed. Yeah.
Or just about any order. Like I doubt Wales wins the group in any of these scenarios, but I can see them finishing second. I can see Iran finishing second. I can see U.S. topping the group. I can see them crashing out with 1 point.
If anything, Iran.
And this is kind of how I feel about Portugal's group as well. Like we could just be crashing out, completely. Ghana looked great today. Uruguay scares the fucking shit out of me. Like
South Korea is no joke.
South Korea,
Son would
they could be
injured,
good, they could be bad. They have good players. How
have
healthy
good
is Son?
players.
I don't know, right? Like it
They
could
have that
really
defender
finish
from
in
Napoli that scares the shit out of me. if I'm
It
being
could
honest.
finish in any order. Portugal's group. Let's be real.
I think,
We'll go to
I
Portugal.
think-
Sorry, go.
I think I'll finish with this really fast. I think Iran might finish in second, even in first, but
Agreed.
most definitely, they will win the gold medal in diving. That's
Agreed. Agreed. For me, I think Canada will finish second in the group, but realistically, we'll probably finish fourth. I do see Canada stealing points from Morocco and Croatia. Will 2 draws be enough? Probably not. But who knows?
You need
I
five.
like
You need 5.
I like the draw. I like the form we're in. I have a feeling Steven Vittoria is going to score a goal in the World Cup for us. I don't know about
Wishful
Eustáquio.
thinking.
I don't know
Scored
about
today,
Eustáquio.
bro.
He scored today against Japan. Today makes me a little hopeful. We'll see if Davies is back. If
That's a
Davies is
team
back-
going to the World Cup. That's a good team.
If Davies is back, I think we might steal something. But I also see us also getting 0 points because this is our first World Cup in 30 years.
Okay,
So
I'll tell you
we'll
what.
see.
Let's do a really quick exercise. So
Yeah, go.
okay, Group A: Qatar, Ecuador, Senegal, and Netherlands. Who finished first? Who finished second? Danny.
Netherlands and Qatar because Qatar's already playing Ecuadorian
It's
players.
Okay.
Mane is out, and it's rigged for Qatar.
And
So Qatar might even top the group, but it will be Netherlands and Qatar.
Chris, what's your choices, Chris?
Same Netherlands, Qatar.
Okay. B: England, Iran, USA, Wales. I'll say the
Ooh.
same thing for the Group A.
I'm saying England first. I'll go with you with my boys. United States second.
USA, Iran.
Nice. Love that.
I'm gonna say USA, Wales.
Nice.
Let's go.
C: Argentina, Saudi Arabia, Mexico, Poland.
I'm saying Argentina first because it's rigged for them to win the World Cup.
Yeah, it's totally rigged for Argentina.
And Poland second.
Yeah, same with me. Argentina, Poland. Argentina will win the group. I'm watching their games very closely. I'll tell you that much.
I'm gonna
Qatar
I'm tempted to say
games,
Mexico,
I'm
though.
watching.
The Simpsons did predict Portugal, Mexico a final, so we'll see.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Poland and Mexico. D: France, Australia, Denmark, and Tunisia.
France, Denmark. In my opinion. Denmark, France. I'll say actually Denmark, France.
Tunisia's coming with a nice kits. I'm gonna have to go Denmark and France as well.
I'm gonna say France and Denmark as well.
Euro prestige.
Yeah. Group E: Spain, Costa Rica, Germany, and Japan. That's a no-brainer, I think.
I'm saying Germany first, Spain second.
Yeah, does Japan have enough sauce is the question there. And I think
And how many
they'll
goals is
probably-
Morita scoring? And is he going to be 18 centimeters offside on a weird angle? I don't know.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, it's tough to go a bet against Spain and Germany there. Spain's second though. Germany win for sure.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Group F: Belgium, Canada, Morocco, and Croatia.
Canadá em primeiro. E quero lá saber quem está em segundo, caralho. Belgium. I gotta go. Belgium, Canada.
Yeah, same. Belgium's gonna get 9 points, but will 4 be
7.
enough? 6?
7 points.
Will Canada?
7
I think
points.
Canada might need 6 in that scenario then.
No, 7 points. You still won, and then you get another draw. 5 points.
No, Belgium's not gonna lose, dude. They're one of those teams now where I think
No,
they're gonna.
that's what I'm
up
saying.
if they
7
don't.
points. You get 2 wins and a draw. They get 7. Canada gets 5.
Yeah.
Steph, go ahead. Break my heart, bro. Say it. Belgium, Croatia.
No, I'm gonna say Canada and Croatia.
Let's go, bro.
Yeah, I think I think Belgium is gone.
Wow.
Tau. Vai
That'd
dar
be
Portugal. Well, Portugal. Brazil, Serbia, Switzerland, and Cameroon.
I want Brazil first, Serbia second. Hopefully Portugal gets first so we can fucking face the Serbs again.
Yeah, I agree with that as well.
Okay,
Brazil's gonna win that group. We have to finish first in the group to not play them.
I'm gonna go with Cameroon and Serbia. Age.
Isso. Abubakar against Portugal.
You know why Cameroon won't advance? Because their kits are like manufactured by this brand that didn't exist. They just started existing like a year ago, and they're so poorly made that their kits are gonna fall apart on the field, bro. They can't perform in those.
If that's the case,
It's hot in Qatar.
Listen, if that's the case, Canada's getting 0 points. We ask our players to send us back the fucking jerseys and training kits so we can wash them, bro. That's how cheap we are.
Hey, listen, it's like Mission Impossible. They self-destroy.
Yeah, exactly.
Age: Portugal, Ghana, Uruguay, South Korea.
My heart says Portugal em primeiro lugar, sempre caralho, and sempre. Yeah, I'll go Uruguay second. I'll be boring.
Yeah, Portugal, Uruguay. I think those are the two. I don't know the order. I think Uruguay might win the group, and we might have to play Brazil.
Brazil, yeah, I know. I'd be worried.
I'm gonna say Portugal and Ghana, and I think Fatu.
In Steph's scenario, though, Brazil doesn't even make it out of the group, which I would welcome. Then I'll play Serbia.
Let's play Serbia. No. We play Cameroon, bro. Even better.
That's fine. Cameroon tops the group. We'll play them. That's fine.
I'll say Portugal and Ghana, and Fatu is gonna score like 10 goals in this World Cup.
And 9 against
we'll
Uruguay.
sell them in January, bro.
1 against Korea.
I'll never wear the Sporting shirt again.
Okay,
he'll play so well, and then we'll sell him.
Let's move on to the semifinals. Who makes it? The last 4 teams.
I don't know without seeing the hold on, let me try to bring up the bracket. Bro, fuck it. I'll wing it.
Yeah, just wing it. Yeah.
Portugal, Canada on one side, and Portugal, England, Brazil if we evade them, and Argentina. That might be realistic, actually.
Qatar, Argentina on one side. Brazil.
What are you smoking?
Uruguay on the other side.
I'm gonna say
South Americans are overtaking the Europeans now.
Yeah.
Okay, I like it.
I'm gonna say France on one side, and then England on the other, and then on the other side Portugal and Spain, and then Portugal wins the World Cup.
Nice.
Against France, and that's how I'm saying it.
Nice. Krish?
I got Argentina winning the World Cup over
against
Brazil.
Qatar. Oh, my bad.
That's a good.
They're gonna play Qatar in the semis.
Yeah,
but then they're gonna be like, it's rigged for Messi, it's rigged for Qatar. Which rigging wins? And then Messi will ultimately win out in the rigging, which is exactly what happened in South Korea 0-2, right? They couldn't have South Korea win the whole thing, right? They had to stop it at a certain point. They had to stop it at the semifinal. That's where Qatar's run will end, the semifinal.
Okay, last question from me. The best performance of the United States in all the World Cups combined. Don't Google it. You got to know it. The best placement.
Wasn't it the year they beat Portugal?
Quarterfinal, right?
Yeah, right?
2002 against they beat Portugal in the group.
Oh, no. Oh, was that 2002? Holy shit.
They lost to Belgium in the round of 16 in 2010. Was that South Africa? Where Julian Green came off the bench and scored a toe blow.
What's that guy doing? He has to be at least only like 29, 30.
I know. I think he's like in the German 3rd division.
Like 5th division, bro. Holy fuck.
The best
United States, I can't remember. I feel like it was the year they beat Portugal to make it through the group. It was United States, Ghana, right?
They have a 3rd place.
Before it started being called the World Cup, they won some like old tournament in like 1910.
In 1930.
Before the World Cup started.
No. That was officially the first World Cup.
Wait, in Uruguay?
It was, it was 13 national teams.
Oh, they played in that shit?
Yeah, it was by invitation. And Uruguay won the World Cup, which they still count it.
Yeah.
To be a World Cup, That was the best placement. 3rd place.
Wow. How about Portugal? What's Portugal's best placement? You guys
1966.
Yeah,
1966, 3rd place.
I'll never forget the 2006 3rd place game. The 2006 3rd place game where we got battered by Germany. Played so bad in that. That's one of the worst individual performances you're gonna see. Petit was horrible in that game. So technically we finished 4th that year, and then I think in 66 we won the 3rd place game, so that was a higher finish. But we lost 3 or 4-0, right, to Germany.
Yeah, that was in 2006.
Shocking. We got fucked up.
That's the best we ever did. In 1966, from what my father told me, Eusebio he pulled a great performance, and then some goals.
We got robbed against England, right, in the semis.
A goal to Germany
it hit the crossbar and bounced down in the goal or something like that. Yeah.
And that was the year England won the World Cup, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's all good. The trophy's stolen, though. They don't even have the trophy, so.
Yeah, exactly. All right. In a yes or no question, and then we're going to wrap it up because it's 2 hours in. Portugal winning the World Cup stuff?
Yes.
Chris?
No, the field. I got the field.
I'm saying yes. Vamos Portugal.
Let's go. I hope it's true, but
I doubt it. Me too. But
it's a
fucking
tempting
let's
bet,
go.
but I'll have to
Hey,
take the
if
field.
not Portugal, USA. If not the USA, then I'll go for France.
If not France, Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah.
thank you.
For me,
Please.
France is not in my top 30. so.
I don't think France is making it past the quarters, in my opinion.
I
That's my
was
opinion.
born. I was born in France. That's why I sympathize with them.
Yeah, we know you got to rep France a little bit.
No, for sure. Yeah, so shout out to all my francophone, my Quebecois. Make sure if you're listening to this in Quebec, I forgot how to say give us a follow on Twitter. So give us Steph, say it in French.
Give us a follow on Twitter.
On Twitter at Sporting160_EN. You can follow me here.
And
Give me a follow there. Give our francophone Steph a follow over there. Give Krish a follow over here. Sam, of course, who's not with us today, give us a follow there. Sporting160EN everywhere other than Twitter. It's an underscore before the EN. Boys, another good one. I'm gonna upload this and start fucking clipping things for for TikTok. Get the views up. Boys, good shit, and we'll see you for the next one. Hopefully the next one, maybe World Cup, maybe Sporting League Cup. We'll see.
It'll be a
but
mix
anyways.
of World Cup and League Cup. Yeah.
Because League Cup is like in a week and a half, right?
yeah.
Yep.
In a bit. So
It's gonna
Hey,
start.
hey.
It's gonna start this weekend, actually, but we don't
we-
play in the first
Mhm.
batch
We
of
might
games.
we might have a chance to win it.
I mean, for this,
Yeah.
we have all our Portuguese boys. We fucking better.
Exactly. I know.
Alright.
You know what? I just got a notification. Sporting
Yeah.
just got a new striker.
Okay. Daniel Marchaldenga.
Fanny Teixeira.
Oh, you're actually reminding me. We didn't even get to Mateo Tanlongo on this episode.
I know, bro.
For next time. It's way too long.
If he signs or not, who knows, bro? Who knows?
Yeah, there'll be probably more developments by then, anyways, in like a week
Exactly.
or so. I hope.
Yeah, he was told to report back to.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he's in a put himself in a horrible situation. I'll be
Yeah.
honest.
He's being spanked.
All right, boys. Good
Okay.
shit. Thanks for everybody who joined, and arrivederci. Viva Sporting e viva Portugal. E Canadá, caralho.